turkey pardoning event at the White House. This after reports that an agreement may be near on a U.S. brokered deal for a pause in the Israel-Hamas fighting to free women and children held since the October 7th terror attack on Israel. 28 of the premature babies evacuated from Gaza's main hospital over the weekend are now in Egypt for further medical treatment.
This was all coordinated by the United Nations and the Palestinian Red Crescent with the help of the Israeli army. Now, the army continues to operate inside Gaza and at Gaza's Shifa hospital. They are making new discoveries at that main medical facility and overnight released a new video indicating that at least 2 of the hostages were taken to that hospital on the morning of October 7th, according to CCTV footage. The revelation raising new questions about what the international organizations that operate within the hospital knew about the hostages.
Fox's Trey Yingst in southern Israel. U.S. Defense Chief Lloyd Austin just announcing another $100 million in assistance to Ukraine as he continues a surprise visit to Kyiv, reaffirming continuing U.S. support. The U.S. Supreme Court declines to hear an appeal over the death of George Floyd.
Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was convicted of second and third degree murder as well as second-degree manslaughter for killing George Floyd, a black man whose death sparked protests across the country. Chauvin asked for a new trial, though. His attorneys argued the jury pool was biased due to the protests. The appeal for a new trial got up to the Supreme Court, and today the justices declined to consider the case without explanation.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Chauvin was sentenced to more than 22 years in prison. America is listening to Fox News.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up?
I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
The holiday week is here, and we're off to a wet start. Cloudy and chilly this afternoon. Periods of rain. 52 for the high. Periods of rain this evening and all night long. 48, that's it for the low. Tuesday, rain in the morning. Should come to an end by about midday Tuesday. Otherwise, cloudy and windy, 48. Wednesday, sunny and 48 degrees. And then Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, sunny and 55. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want?
I'll have an old-fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
Now you can with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now, get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever at bartesian.com/sips. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. Now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever. It's available right now only at bartesian.com/sips. That's BARTESIAN.com/sips for Bartesian's best deal ever. Only at bartesian.com/sips.
Want to learn a new language but don't know where to start? I felt the same way until I found Rosetta Stone. As the language learning experts for 30 years, Rosetta Stone knows what really works when it comes to learning a new language and helped me feel confident enough to speak it in the real world. With their lifetime unlimited subscription, I have access to all 25 languages forever. I can take a break when life gets busy and not feel guilty about another monthly subscription I didn't use. But with their award-winning app and 10-minute lessons, I can always fit Rosetta Stone into my schedule, even on my busiest day. Plus, Rosetta Stone's True Accent system tells me how well I'm speaking each word compared to native speakers. I've never gotten feedback like this from any other app. There's nothing greater than the sound of learning. And I have an amazing deal to share with you. Go to rosettastone.com/radio today and score 50% off now through November 22nd. That's rosettastone.com/radio. 50% off now through November 22nd.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan. In celebration of McKelvey Homes' 125th anniversary, we are having our biggest sale of the year. Save up to $89,000. Get special financing in the fives and free closing costs on all move-in ready homes. Visit The Preserve on Mackenzie Road near Watson. A beautiful community with 4 lakes, nature trails, and wooded home sites. We have a variety of homes from the 400s, including our villa and estate homes. Don't miss this opportunity to save big and get in before the holidays. Visit McKelveyHomes.com.
This holiday season, give them a Stihl. Save $30 on the GTA 26 battery-powered garden pruner. Go to stihlusa.com/gift guide. Now $149.99 was $179.99 MSRP. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Our administration has pursued a comprehensive strategy to manage this unprecedented migration. Our strategy includes expanded lawful pathways for migration, strengthened consequences for unlawful entry at the border, removing a record number of individuals found to be ineligible for protection under the law, and increased partnership across the region to curb irregular migration.
That's November 8th, and that is Secretary Mayorkas just talking about how strong his administration, or this administration, I should say, has been on the border. Aren't you feeling it? Can't you tell? When you see all of the things that are facing this country right now, you're thinking, well, at least we got that border under control. Please. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene started an impeachment process, whatever her role was, to get the ball rolling. And I believe there were 8 Republicans that voted with Democrats to say, nope, not right now. It went to committee, as I understand it, not to put the vote on the floor. We're going to speak with Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene here in a couple minutes about a new book that she has out. But we're going to ask her what it's like to be in Congress. And I want to know a little bit more about Marjorie Taylor Greene, the person who became a congresswoman. And we're going to get to the bottom of what her next step is in the impeachment process of Alexander Mayorkas. When we have done polls before in the show on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and we've talked about impeachment, it is generally the case that the impeachment of Mayorkas far surpasses your interest in the impeachment of Joe Biden. The idea that the southern border is not secure and that the world is on fire and that we can't figure out a way to actually focus in on this issue and make it a top priority and make sure that everybody around the world knows that you can't just come into the southern part of our country. Where is that priority? I'm interested to hear what she's going to do next on that. Hope you had a great weekend. We have a Thanksgiving week here, holiday week, so come along and spend your work week portion of this with us. I mentioned the work week. Our YouTube live chat poll, we're going to talk about this a little bit later in the show. Is an 8-hour in-office work week an acceptable standard expectation? I think post-COVID, people are going to maybe have different thoughts on this, but we want you to go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and join us there and make sure that you weigh in on why you vote yes or no on the YouTube live chat poll. Have you ever, Brad, held a standard 8-hour in-office work week?
Outside of this one, I don't even know if this one actually even counts because
I do.
It could almost be more.
Yeah, I was going to
It's
say.
not in office. Well, you are in office.
In office, but also like there's out of office stuff that I do and pulling stuff for the show even after regular office hours. This is the closest that I've had to a regular 8 hour a day work in office work week.
I think that what you're doing here is the standard plus.
Yeah.
Which I feel like the main conversation happening culturally right now is the standard minus.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. You know, I've seen people say, well, they do it differently in other parts of the world, and it's like, well, yeah, but other parts of the world don't have the world's biggest economy. They're not the
They
world's
also
leading.
tax the snot out of their citizens and
Yes.
provide a lot of things through the government that people come to America to get taken care of because they don't get it.
Yeah, So I mean, for me, I think this is an acceptable expectation, and I'm not a big fan of people that aren't driven to work 40 hours.
Go to the Annie Frey YouTube poll. Join us there. Leave a comment, leave a vote, and we will highlight your thoughts on that poll throughout the course of the show. So the book is out tomorrow. The book from Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. She represents the 14th District of Georgia. It is shipping tomorrow. So if you go, you could, I guess it's technically a pre-order now, but the books are going out tomorrow. So it's basically the same thing as if you were just going to order it. It would ship. You're going to get it. You're going to get it right away. The book is called NTG. And that is going to be my first question for our guest, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. As I said, the 14th District of Georgia Congresswoman here on the Annie Frey Show today. Congresswoman, thank you for your time today. We're really grateful to speak with you.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Annie. I really appreciate it.
Of course. You know, the first question that I want to ask you, as I was looking through your book, and we're going to get to some of the details in there because it has to do with a lot of the key stories that we're watching happen in the news right now. You titled the book MTG, and I was going to ask you what it's like to be an acronym and if you embrace that, and then you named your book that. So I'm assuming that that's a yes?
Yeah, I've learned to embrace it. I was just an ordinary American, really fed up with how our country was going and kind of mad at Republicans, to be honest, because they were never stopping or still never stopped the Democrats' unbelievable destructive agenda. And I got labeled MTG, so I said, all right, you know what, I'll stick with it.
Yeah. Do people refer? Is that how they refer to you, to your face? Do you refer to yourself as MTG? I mean, I'm sure everyone's calling you Congresswoman, but is that kind of your name now?
Yeah, it has kind of become my name with a lot of people, and I guess it's easier to type out. It's a lot shorter than Marjorie Taylor Greene, so that does make it easy. So I go with that as well.
Well, Congresswoman, we're grateful to talk about your book, and it's an articulation of battles you're fighting in the halls of Congress and all of the consequences of being in Congress. I want to start with your effort to impeach Secretary Mayorkas. I played a clip from November 8th where he's talking about, Mayorkas is talking about how they've pursued a comprehensive strategy to manage the unprecedented issue at our southern border. It doesn't feel like that here in the central part of the country in St. Louis. You said he needs to be impeached. Where's that process sit right now?
Well, I had introduced articles of impeachment last Congress, and then I reintroduced them again, and they were sitting for 6 months in the Judiciary Committee, basically just collecting dust. And after 2 of my constituents were killed by a 17-year-old cartel member smuggling illegal aliens in our country in Texas, I was so upset about it. I introduced them as a privilege resolution on the House floor. And unfortunately, 8 Republicans voted with the Democrats, and 4 of those 8 Republicans serve on the Judiciary Committee. And they sent my articles of impeachment back to committee, where apparently they got put back on the shelf to collect some more dust. I was really outraged over that because in my mind, it's like how many dead Americans do we have to pile up before we actually impeach Secretary Mayorkas, who is willfully breaking our laws? And we've had over 10 million people cross our border since Biden took office, and there have been 1.8 million gotaways that are in our country. We don't know who they are, where they're from, what their purpose is, and it's believed that thousands of them are likely terrorists. And after seeing what happened in Israel, we're in real trouble. The same thing that could happen to us, but maybe a lot worse. So this is a no-brainer. Secretary Mayorkas of Homeland Security needs to be impeached. We have to bring accountability to an administration that has virtually had none and is ruining our country.
We're speaking with Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Congresswoman representing the 14th District of Georgia. Her book out. You can get it shipping tomorrow, called MTG. Should be easy for you to remember. I want to know about the effort you're making to get to the bottom of the southern border. I think I fully support it. I wish that all of the Republicans would support it. And it seems as though every time there's something that kind of feels like a no-brainer to the majority of the Republican Party or people who hold conservative values, a razor thin majority of Republicans in the House. You got 6 Republicans who say no. You got 8 Republicans who say no, or whatever it might be. And the drama becomes the story. And those 2 individuals from your district become a back burner concern. Talk to me about the drama in Congress and the Republicans' ability or inability to get things done.
Yeah, and then that's a shame. There shouldn't be, we should be able to fix our drama because we work for the American people. It's unfortunate. In our conference, we only have a few seat majority, and it takes 218 votes to get anything passed on the House floor. This is really why I wrote my book, MTG, was to pull the curtain back so that people could understand what happens in Congress or virtually why nothing happens in Congress, which is my frustration. But we have quite a division in our GOP conference right now, even though we have a new speaker. Not much has changed, honestly. And, we've got everything. You got your moderates, you've got your conservatives. I'm very conservative. You've got, and every type of Republican in between. And some, I would argue, are not so Republican themselves. But we have a really hard time getting an agreement on how to do things. And that's a shame, and it shouldn't happen. And another problem that's happening is I call it revenge voting. There's some members of Congress, and it's pretty prevalent in our new freshman group and some others, where they just won't vote for something because it has someone's name on it they don't like. And I think that is the worst thing you can possibly do. It's our job to vote and vote the right way. And it shouldn't matter whether you like somebody or not. You should always vote and do the right thing for the country.
Yeah, it's hard to look at. I feel for somebody in your position, anybody who is representing a district where, a Republican district in New York might look a little different than the 14th District of Georgia. And so you have 2 Republicans in a Republican caucus where you need to come together and solve the problems of the American people. But the drama kind of gets in the way. It's like, if we're voting on principle, it seems as though that name on a bill shouldn't remove the principle of still representing what those people in those districts likely are trying to support.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll give you an example of one that this is a chapter in my book. I have a bill called the Protect Children's Innocence Act, and it's a bill that would stop the surgeries on anybody under the age of 18, like mastectomies, castration, the transgender surgeries on kids. And I mean, this is an 80% issue in polling across America with all voters, that Americans believe that that kids need to grow up first. Let them grow up before they do anything so permanently damaging to their bodies. And this bill, I cannot get it passed because there's some Republicans, unfortunately, they're conservatives, and they think it's a state rights issue. And I can't argue enough that it is not a state rights issue, especially when California, New York, Washington, and other states will literally take kids away from their parents. The state government will take kids away from their parents so they can have their body parts chopped off. It's not a state rights issue anymore. So these are the types of arguments we have, and it is really destructive and debilitating to be able to do the right thing.
We're speaking with Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene about her battles that she fights in the congressional halls as she represents the 14th District of Georgia. And she's written about a lot of these in her new book that is coming out, ships tomorrow. It's called MTG. Congresswoman, you know, I think about you. You probably, I don't know how many interviews you do in any given day or any given week, but the stuff that comes across my desk on any given day from anybody in Congress. It's, you know, we get the really punchy stuff that becomes a soundbite and a clip and it goes into the media. And you're a firebrand and you are sometimes a flamethrower. And I think people probably know a very small percentage of who Marjorie Taylor Greene is. Do you feel as though you're misunderstood at all in Congress?
Well, misunderstood is one thing, but I've been lied about, and that's an extreme frustration of mine. You know, ever since I entered Congress in January of 2021, the media basically created a character of me that doesn't exist, and then they sold it and basically put it in the news 24/7 across our country and even the world. And so that has been extremely unfair, and I address a lot of that in my book. I also talk about things that were happening in my life after I got kicked off of committees by 11 Republicans and all the Democrats, which was unbelievable. And I tell a very personal story, the one thing that I really cared about that was happening while I was getting nothing but horrific attacks and terrible headlines in the news. It wasn't those that bothered me. It was my dad's battle with cancer. But, you know, I tell all these stories because, I am a person, a real person. And I want people to know exactly who I am, what my words are, and what I really think and feel, not what the media has portrayed about me, which has been extremely unfair and a lot of lies. So the book was great. MTG, I have some funny stories in there. I even talk about the headline "Jewish space lasers," a phrase I never said, but they wrote crazy stories about me.
Do you laugh when that happens, or do you get mad and then it becomes funny, or are you just still mad about it?
Well, that one I was so shocked by. I still am shocked by it. So I thought this is worth writing about in the book. So I covered that topic. But yeah, I laugh about that one now, but in the beginning it was not so funny.
Right.
I spent a lot of time the first 6 months or so saving every article and news story, sending them to my attorney, demanding that we sue the media company or whoever said it. And then my attorney finally convinced me that I was going to go broke trying to sue everybody. Because they have such a high bar for people like me. If you're a public figure, it's very hard to win a lawsuit like that. But so I finally gave up on that and decided, you know what, I'll focus my attention to. I started roll calling votes. That's forcing Congress to vote on record, not with voice votes. And I found out that was much needed. America deserves a voting record that they can read of every member of Congress. And so I did that a lot, and I still do that this Congress.
Well, before we let you go, we're speaking with Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. As you heard her say, her book, MTG, you can go order it right now. It ships tomorrow. And I want to ask you, probably the biggest news story that developed over the course of the weekend was those 40,000 hours of tapes that were released by the new speaker about January 6th. And I just want you to give us your thoughts on the tapes that have been released and what you want the American people to look at, see, know, or understand now that that's out there in the public.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, I have a whole chapter about January 6th in my book. It's unbelievable. I was there in the House chamber when it happened, objecting to Joe Biden's Electoral College votes, and I had organized that objection with some of my colleagues, Matt Gaetz and others. And, and I was also one of the only members of Congress to actually go in the D.C. jail and visit them back in November of 2021 when they were being persecuted like so bad. I mean, they're still being persecuted now, but it was really bad then. And so there's a lot of meaning behind those videotapes for me after seeing what those men are going through, and they're still going through it. So the hour, it's been 90 hours actually have been released. Only 90 hours of 44,000 were released, and that was on the portal. That portal, it took months to build. That had been happening even before Speaker Johnson released them. Going back, I think, into the summer, they started building that portal. And I think it's important for people to be able to see anything that happened that day. The American taxpayer paid for it. Those are the Capitol buildings paid for by the taxpayers. The videotapes are paid by the taxpayers, and if they want to see them, I think truth is the best remedy. But here's the situation: releasing the videotapes is not stopping the prosecutions of innocent January 6th people that just walked in the Capitol, or even were standing on Capitol grounds that are being indicted and prosecuted by the Department of Justice. So I've called on our Speaker, Mike Johnson, to create a January 6th committee, a new committee that will hold the old committee accountable for their lies, hold Nancy Pelosi accountable, subpoena the FBI, subpoena the Department of Justice, and really push for accountability to stop what's happening to so many Americans.
Congresswoman, if a Democrat wins the 2024 election, are we in the status quo right now from January 6th?
Oh my goodness. If a Democrat wins the 2024 election, I think we'll see things get a lot worse. You know, I met with Edward Bolsonaro and some other members of Congress from Brazil just 2 weeks ago, and they were telling me that since the Lula administration has taken over in Brazil, that they are coming after many supporters of Bolsonaro that are members of Congress, trying to take away their rights to hold political office. That they are cracking down on media, censoring people on social media. It got a lot worse in Brazil after this. I think if we don't get President Trump back in office, I think we're going to see things get even worse than they are right now.
Well, the book, you can find it at mtgbook.com. Congresswoman, thank you so much for the time today. It was a real pleasure to speak to you and hear about some of these things in your own words, and we look forward to seeing what the book has to say in more detail.
Yeah, thanks so much, Annie. I really enjoyed it. It was good to talk to you.
You as well. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, first time on the Annie Frey Show. Didn't know how that was going to go, and I'm very interested in kind of knowing what this book has to say.
Yeah.
I know that she is a firebrand for sure. She does. You don't get to be in Congress without having a certain kind of spice about something, and she's definitely got it, and she's definitely been effective in getting herself out there in front of issues and articulating her position on them. And of course, not everybody agrees on it, but she's cut through the noise, and when she speaks, people do listen. You know, some people hate listen, but I know people who do that to this show. So I know them personally. I am very interested to see what her book might say, her perspective on things, and to kind of give her a clean slate opportunity to show us who she is in her own words. Mm-hmm. I think that's a powerful thing to do. And I know there are a lot of people out there listening and commenting right now, huge MTG fans. So we're really grateful that she gave us the time today. Go check out the book, mtgbook.com. Let's take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show when we come around after a few-minute break here. The YouTube live chat poll is an 8-hour in-office work week, an acceptable standard expectation. Now, I'm not saying that that's what everybody should do, but haven't we previously built society on the idea of a 9-to-5 work week? Let us know what you think. Yes or no? Maybe since COVID, you're like, no, this needs to change. There are younger generations who absolutely think it needs to change. Let us know what you think and give us your thoughts and comments and reviews on our conversation with Marjorie Taylor Greene right there. Quick break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Something bad.
ClassicKitchenRefacing.com is the website. If you are considering investing in your home this holiday season, maybe a little high-five handshake deal with your significant other. Let's not do the Christmas gifts this year. Let's give ourselves the brand new kitchen we've been dreaming about forever. Do it for less when you go to Classic Kitchen Refacing. They're in St. Anne, and when you walk in and you meet this family-owned and operated business and you see how skilled they are at these transformations, the cherry on top, everything looks fresh and new in 3 to 5 days. 3 to 5 days. You could have that kitchen remodel done for drastically less. How do they do it less? Well, first of all, they don't come in and replace all of your cabinets. They reface all of your cabinets to a beautiful wood finish, to a paint color, so that it starts to bring the whole kitchen together in a really modern look. Add in a beautiful backsplash, Cambria countertops, Cambria quartz countertops, and all the hinges and the details and the pulls. Everything comes together, and you are exactly where you've always wanted to be, making a smart decision, shopping local, and doing it for less with refacing instead of replacing. Learn more online by going to ClassicKitchenRefacing.com.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
This station is now conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, visit mersgoodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Second Amendment Radio is a staple of solid firearm information on 97.1 every weekend. Saturday from 3 to 4 and Sunday from noon to 1. It's Second Amendment Radio and the great outdoors. 97.1 FM Talk.
Now that she's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her head. She acts like summer and walks like rain. Reminds me that there's a time to change. Hey, hey, hey. Since the return of her stay on the moon, she listens like spring and she talks like June.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Did you make it to the Milky Way to see?
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Started the show off with a bit of a bang. We had Marjorie Taylor Greene on. We just got done speaking with her, and you can check out that interview if you missed it on the Annie Frey podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. Can we create a few clips, video clips from that conversation?
Yeah,
too,
we'll grab
maybe?
some.
Put them up on the YouTube channel.
Yep.
The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll for today is an 8-hour in-office work week an acceptable standard expectation, yes or no? Now, there's always deviation from the standard, of course, but I think that the spirit of the question here, that 8-hour, 40-hour work week, 9 to 5, 8 to 4, 10 to 6, that's what I always grew up thinking that's what you did when you were a grown person, but that's not going well for the younger generation, and they want it to change. And after COVID, a lot of people have been forced into doing something alternative to that. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on that issue. So go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and give us your vote and tell us why you voted yes or no. Ryan, were you able to listen to MTG on the AFS?
Heck yeah, I wouldn't miss it. That was a surprise coming in today.
It was weird that you decided to sit outside of the studio and just look into the studio while we interviewed her to listen to it.
I mean, it's just I want to get as close as I can. I know that that's as close as I would have been allowed to be in that interview.
Yeah, Lord knows that an interview with MTG and Annie and an interview with MTG and Ryan sounds just a little different. Am I wrong?
No, not at all.
Did I ask the right questions, or could I have done better?
I liked it. I think that you
didn't
asked.
love it?
No, I didn't love it.
You didn't want some more of it?
I did. No, I thought it was good. I thought you got to ask her the stuff that everybody's like, ooh, what about this? Like, well, just ask that. I mean, I thought those were those questions.
You get 15 minutes.
Yeah.
With I keep using this word, but I can't think of a better one, firebrand congresswoman that if you know her name, you have an opinion on her.
Yeah.
You try to ask good questions, and you know that you're not going to ask them all because you can't get to them all.
I thought the questions about, I mean, just asking like, what's it like to be initials? You know, I mean, that's kind of, it's weirdly a question that once you asked it, I don't know that I would have like thought, oh, that's to the top of my list, but that's the title of her book, so it kind of lends to it. When you asked it, though, I initially went, you know, there are very few people in the world who you can say an initial and everybody knows who that is.
Or a one-word name.
Or, yeah, like a Madonna or something.
Or a Beyonce.
Yeah.
I mean, she has a last name, but what percentage of people who know of Beyonce, if you take everybody who knows that Beyonce exists, could tell you that her last name is Knowles?
Everybody who knows her. But she is one.
Just how he says folks.
She is, by that standard, one of the most famous people in the world. Or at least the United States. I don't really know outside the United States if people all know who Marjorie Taylor Greene is. Maybe they do. I mean, it's always surprising to me how much other countries know about American politics, or at least the figureheads in them. But, I mean, after you asked that, all of that kind of came to mind. I was like, dang, she probably is one of the more famous people, at least in the country.
Because I know that I would have an opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
I would want, you know, if my initials happen to be AF, which stand for something else in most places.
Never thought about that before.
Yes, you have. We have talked about so many different types of shirts or merchandise or stuff that we could use the Annie Frey initials on, and I'm like, I just can't. It's not who I am. And that's like literally who I am. If you don't know, Google it. I'm not legally allowed to say it on the air. Patriot AF. Tired AF. Annoyed with Wiggins AF.
Everybody identifies with that.
How about Wiggins AF?
Yeah, I mean, that makes more sense in the common colloquialism of it. I'm not sure how that works with Annie Frey.
You don't think people want to buy that sweatshirt?
Wiggins Annie Frey?
No. It's not what the AF means.
I thought it was literally who you are.
It is. But it's also means literally something profane.
Again, this is something I
As-
don't know anything about. I'm going to have to look it up.
Okay. Don't read it out loud.
AF.
Like the one time you spelled the other name for that whale or something on the air. Like, you can't do that.
It doesn't really say. I mean, Yahoo says, what does AF slang mean? Oh. Oh, that's dirty.
What a weird name. Hey, later on in the show, we're going to talk about my new best friend. Probably in the 2 o'clock hour. Do you know about my new best friend?
No.
It's your wife.
Have you guys been texting after the event?
Mrs. Wiggins and I are great, great friends.
Oh, no. Can I tell you something? Yesterday, we had Thanksgiving at my house.
Uh-huh.
I show up for Thanksgiving, and my family is giving me trouble about our Saturday night event. My family.
What?
My extended family.
What do you mean trouble?
Is giving me trouble. I didn't know if you wanted to wait and talk about this later. But the whole buying an extra drink thing.
Okay, well, hold on.
Yeah.
Did Mrs. Wiggins tell your family the story and then you got crap for it?
Apparently.
Okay, well, hold on to that. We'll get back to it. I could dedicate an hour, maybe more to it.
I figured.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm prepared. My family prepared me for the 2 o'clock hour today. I kid you not.
We're gonna make bracelets, Mrs. Wiggins and I.
She had a lot of fun on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And
Thanks to somebody.
I think the fun just continued, into today. Everybody's having a great time.
Well, that's enough of that because next up is Wiggins America.
Yeah. This is where the country prospers.
For 7 minutes. In the noon hour.
Raise gummy bears.
It used to be 15 minutes, but inflation,
Right.
Shrinkflation.
Say inflation should mean.
Can we
start that like at 12:35?
Wiggins America making shrinkflation cool for 7 minutes a day?
I do not want the term shrinkflation associated with me in any capacity.
I do. And Ms. Wiggins thought it was a great idea.
No, she did not.
All right,
she did not weigh in on that.
Let's go to break. Well, she can.
No, she cannot.
I'm going to text her
and
right
she will
now.
not. I'm texting her right now before you do.
I'm going to text her first. Who will she respond to first, you or me?
Honey, don't say anything to Annie.
We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Tracing her way through the constellation. She checks out Mozart while she does Chavo. Reminds me that there's room to grow. Now that she's back in the atmosphere, I'm afraid that she might think of me as plain old Jane Doe. Sorry about a man who was too afraid to fly, so we never did land. But tell me, did the wind sweep you off your feet? Did you finally get the chance to dance along the light of day? Head back to the Milky Way. But tell me, Venus, blow your mind. Was it everything you wanted to find? And then you missed me while you were looking for yourself out there.
When you are seeking out a healthier version of yourself and you know that it's going to require you to lose some weight, a lot of the different things you can look at in your health and you're thinking, your blood pressure's too high or maybe you're pre-diabetic or diabetic and you don't have energy. It's just like the list goes on and on. Maybe losing weight doesn't fix all of that, but it's sure going to help a lot of it. And when you contact Slim 180, you can list off these things that you're dealing with. Maybe it's just an enormous amount of lethargy and you can't figure out how to get yourself up and get moving the way you want to. You need a kickstart. Losing weight with Slim 180 is the smart way to go. You get counseling along with your weight loss. You get the access to semaglutide or tirzepatide, which are available now at a fraction of the price you're going to pay at a pharmacy. You're going to get their ability to help you shop at the grocery store because when you go to Slim 180, you get to still buy your groceries with the rest of the groceries for your family or for your household. You can lose up to 20 pounds in as little as 6 weeks. And if you're thinking, Annie, Thanksgiving is Thursday and Christmas is just a few weeks away, Go buy yourself a gift card right now. Save on investing in your weight loss for the new year and tell them that Annie sent you. You can learn more online at myslim180.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower use for adults only.
Mark Cox here. Join me next spring on a beautiful trip to Italy. This is going to be great. We're going to fly into Rome. We are going to get on a bus and travel south to the Abbey of Monte Cassino, maybe Italy's best kept secret. It looks like something out of a picture book. We'll visit Puglia. We'll go to Caserta. We're going to spend several days in Sorrento. You'll have an opportunity to visit the ruins in Pompeii, and then Positano, which is on the Amalfi Coast and absolutely one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. I can tell you, my wife and I have been there, and we can't wait to go back. You can even take a high-speed jet foil over to the Isle of Capri, which has some tremendous historic Roman ruins on it that you can visit while you're there. $53.67 a person. That includes your airfare from the St. Louis area. Call them toll-free at 888-733-9494. That's 888-733-9494 or conservativetours.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The vote is in. STL Today has certified the result. Onderlaw has been voted 2023's best law firm in St. Louis.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
Wiggins America coming up next. David on the live chat asks, wonder if there is a Wiggins America worm farm. I'm not sure what that means. I can answer that question.
Everybody knows what that means.
I don't. I can answer that question with no, there's not.
What about a Mrs. Wiggins?
Don't talk to Mrs. Wiggins. Leave her alone. Leave her out of this. She's got the day off.
She's my best friend.
She definitely does not want to participate in whatever we're doing today. I'm speaking on her behalf. The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll is the 8-hour work in office work week an acceptable standard expectation? Yes or no? Let us know. 1247. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Fact-checking the fact-checkers daily. St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Just in, the Cardinals sign Andy Bennis as their game day starter. Just kidding. There's Cardinal news coming out right now, but we've gone back to the well, and some people are saying very, very smart move. Lance Lynn is going to be a Cardinal again. We're working on getting contacted. Has he gotten back to you? No? Okay. We're going to see about Matt Pauley and see if he can give us the details.
Lance Lynn.
I like Lance Lynn.
I do too.
I hope it works. This is kind of like the MO for the Cardinals in the past. Bring people and give them a really great last few years.
I know that he's been very steady over the last few years, but when I said that, Brad's like, "Oh yeah," and he still is. So
he's been good.
Thinking, man, he's got to be getting up there. But
36.
36. Oh, that's not that old at all, is it?
Spring chicken.
That is so young.
Super young.
Like not even in the prime of your life.
No, you
unless
haven't
you're
even
a
hit
woman.
your prime yet.
Yeah. Anyway.
Unless you're a woman and you're Don Lemon.
And you're not bearing children anymore. Then it's like, you just hang that hat up and call it a day. At least that's what Ryan always says.
Yeah. Somehow I've kept my job because I say it off the air. I walk around and say it in the office to people.
You can't prove it.
No, right. There's no recording of it.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what he has to say.
So this is the Monday Roundup. I've got my whip sound effects ready to go here. The first story that I wanted to bring up is one that I found actually just a second ago, and I thought, gosh, I need to report on that. Fox 32 out of Chicago is reporting that they are building a migrant site in Chicago now after months of pushback from community members. A migrant encampment on Chicago's south side is becoming a reality. Residents who live near it are very mad.
How come?
Well, let me try to find a couple quotes here. The people they interviewed, Fox 32, said, here's one. It says, as a taxpayer, it makes me feel horrible. We have a corrupt system. They are not listening to the people. And Jaquita Vaughn says, now I'm looking as a single mom going, what about us? I'm there quote
now?
after quote after quote.
Just now?
Yeah, and this other person says, I don't believe it. If it happens, it won't be for us. And Vaughn says, how about building something for the kids, the community? But instead, this is the first thing you do, build a tent city. These are people in South Chicago complaining about this. Now, Fox 32 did investigation. They said on Sunday afternoon, Fox 32 drove to the encampment site in Chicago to film the progress, but the construction crews put up on the fencing a bunch of black privacy screens so that nobody could see into the lot, then parked a big like construction car in front of their camera equipment so that they couldn't see in. So I don't know what's happening here, but it is not popular, and they're not getting very good reports on it, and every comment from city officials is no comment or they're not getting back to them. I just wanted to report on that because that just came up, and I thought, well, how's Chicago doing? There you go. All right, moving on. Chuck E. Cheese expected to remove all animatronic bans at all locations except one.
Which one?
It says the company shared the news in a press release noting that this is what it's called now apparently, Munch's Make-Believe Band.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the name of the band.
Has it always been the name?
I don't think so. Back when I was a kid, it was called something else, wasn't it?
No, because I remember Munch is the purple one, the purple monster that plays the keyboard.
I got a problem, though, with this. Because that's why kids these days are soft and they don't want to work a 9 to 5. Because that keyboard player used to not be purple. He used to look like you were going to eat your pizza and then he was going to eat you.
Mm-hmm.
It was some scary stuff to go to Chuck E. Cheese's, which used to be called, do you remember?
Showbiz Pizza.
Showbiz Pizza. And that's where we went, and it was simultaneously the most fun place you could possibly go eat a meal and most terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, there was a little bit of danger when you went there.
You could die.
You could.
Because of the keyboard player.
I do remember thinking, this might be the greatest place in the world, though. When I was probably 3 or 4 years old, thinking, if there's anywhere that I could just go and live, I would live there.
Yeah, that's how I feel about
Man.
Disney.
The ball pits, those are all gone.
The helicopter that used to go up in the air. And
Oh,
then back
yeah,
down.
you felt like you were miles in the sky.
Yes. It was
How high did
amazing.
it go in reality?
I think
Maybe as tall as a human male.
Yeah, maybe 5 foot.
Yeah.
Man, that is a memory that I have that I didn't know that I had.
Yeah, until you just said that. Me too.
Oh, that was my favorite part.
Man, the ball pit, though. I do remember that.
Yeah.
I can smell it.
Can you?
The plastic of the ball.
Yep.
I just remember trying to get so completely covered up by them that nobody could see you.
Yeah, which is what all the other kids did.
Yeah, and then you'd bump into some other kid and you'd be, ooh, that's a little weird.
Somebody do a flip and land on you.
Yeah, that was the danger, too, if you got where nobody could see you. Somebody's going to come down on you.
Like our parents weren't even watching us.
Nah.
They might have been at the restaurant. They might have been at the bar next door.
Yeah. Like, you putting those balls in your mouth? Well, whatever. Well, I shouldn't have said that. So the last location that's going to have the animatronic bands.
I'm going to text Mr. Wiggins about that.
is in Northridge, California.
Hey, did your wife text you back?
No.
She texted me.
No way, really?
Yeah, she sure did.
Oh, dang. No, she texted me something about the basement. It has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. She says, yeah, they're shutting them all down. They didn't say why. But Leah, you can come in here real quick if you want to. Leah has a theory that it has to do with that new movie.
Are they
on
shutting them
Peacock.
down because they don't all work?
I don't know. They didn't really say. They just said, well, we know that there's a legacy of the brand here, and the animatronic band holds a special place for many childhood memories, but we want our fans to know that this decision to keep one band here is meant as a gesture of love and gratitude as our legacy continues to evolve in new ways. So they didn't really address it.
I imagine that if you have any type of animatronic like that, it requires maintenance. And then if you've got this whole thing up there and it, what percentage of downtime is there that at some point it's like, this is not worth.
I would think right now, though, even in light of this horror movie coming out called Five Nights at Freddy's, which you brought up.
Yeah, it's already out.
Yeah. Let Leah talk about it. So what is this thing? Because all I saw today, I don't know anything about it, and all I saw today in our group DM was an image of something I didn't really ever want to see in the first place, but there it is.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie yet, but it's called Five Nights at Freddy's. And it kind of looks like a Chuck E. Cheese, but more traumatizing. So
is Freddy's a Chuck E. Cheese? Is it a restaurant?
Kind of, yeah.
But
I guess it's based on a game.
It's based on a game, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
which is based on a parody of Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes.
Wait. The movie Five Nights at Freddy's is based on a real game?
Yeah, on a video game called Five Nights at Freddy's. It was a
so like
mobile
Freddy's
game.
hamburgers and French fries and shakes?
Not quite.
Different?
A little different.
Because that place never scares me.
No, there's no animatronics in it. The animatronics in this movie, I have seen this movie actually,
Okay.
and they do come alive, and they have the souls of like dead people in them, and they try to kill you.
That's exactly what Showbiz Pizza was, which is why they rebranded it.
It wasn't a game.
But you know what? When I watched the movie, I had a fondness for the memories that I had of kids, even though it was a horror movie. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, don't do that to my beloved characters. There's a movie just like it though called Willy's Wonderland with Nick Cage.
Yes,
that came out a few years ago. Same exact premise. I thought that movie was actually a little bit better and more ridiculous.
Leah, do you know what Five Nights at Freddy's is rated?
Don't.
Is it made for TV?
No.
No.
It was in the theater.
Oh, well, it was. I don't know that it was ever in theaters. It came out on streaming.
It was Peacock, right?
Yeah, it was Peacock.
So it's a streaming movie.
Yes.
I thought it came out at theaters.
Maybe it did.
Wow, this is where we get people tweeting us like, you can Google these things, which is really, please don't put that on the review of the show anywhere.
Yeah. So anyway, no more. I didn't even know, like, around here, I haven't seen these animatronics for ages.
There's a Chuck E. Cheese in Fairview Heights.
Yep.
Is that still in business?
Yeah, it's over there, and there's like a Sky Zone, or not a Sky Zone, but like a trampoline jump park. It's like
it's Sky Zone.
City Air or something like that.
Ew.
Yeah, but none of them have the animatronics anymore.
I don't know. I haven't been in it.
When
in a
was the
while.
last time you were in that Chuck E. Cheese?
A month ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, you are the resident expert then.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like since I was 17.
No. My son is 6, and if we ever get an hour away, we're like, let's go.
You are going
Me
to
and him.
Chuck E. Cheese?
Oh yeah, me and him. Yeah, we get one card and we just split it. We just like game. And there's no animatronics there.
Do you play half the games?
Yeah.
So you are using your son.
I'm using kind of.
That is what we're getting to here.
There's like little kid games like Bozo's Grand Prize game, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna try to get in the third one, and I'm like, let me have a shot at this.
Step aside.
I got
Junior.
it at number 5, like pretty much right away.
Have you ever been to a Chuck E. Cheese, Leah?
I have. When I was little, we have one in St. Charles.
Not as a grown person?
No.
Trisha says it's in theaters now. Five Nights at Freddy's.
And it's PG-13.
There's the executive producer of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Great job.
Googling things at her desk right now.
Great
for our
job,
show.
everybody.
You guys look like idiots. Here's the truth and the facts. Thank you, Trisha. I just, if you didn't see it, what just happened right now, when I asked Leah if she's been to a Chuck E. Cheese as an adult, the judgment on her face when she said no was felt by Ryan Wiggins.
Yeah. Although ignored.
No.
Because I'm going to continue to go until my son is probably in his teens.
All right. I'll text Mrs. Wiggins about it. We'll be right back. Steve Moore when we come back.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great. because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Renewed attention on Ukraine. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. The fighting there overshadowed recently by the war between Israel and Hamas. But the U.S. defense chief just announced a new aid package in Ukraine.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said from Kyiv that he'd met with President Zelensky and his defense counterpart.
I wanted to reassure the leadership that the United States of America will continue to support Ukraine.
He announced another $100 million aid package from Presidential Drawdown Authority that will provide Ukraine additional artillery munitions, interceptors for air defense, and anti-tank weapons. Austin was asked if Ukraine is ready for winter fighting.
This year, we expect for him to be, just based upon what the president has said, President Zelensky has said, for them to be even more aggressive.
He says he was assured that Ukraine will keep up the pressure on the Russian forces.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Secretary Austin also telling reporters as much humanitarian aid as possible should be allowed into Gaza, and that Hamas is a terror group that doesn't represent the Palestinian people. Israel's President Isaac Herzog warns of a jihadist coalition emanating from Iran.
If Israel weren't there, then Europe will be next, and the United States is for sure next, because they call the United States the big Satan.
Herzog not offering any details about a possible U.S. brokered deal for Hamas to release hostages. The White House is hopeful.
But there's still work to be done, and nothing is done until it's all done. So we're going to keep working on this.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says that work is hour by hour. A defense official confirms to Fox News the deployment of the USS Ford carrier strike group in the eastern Mediterranean is extended a second time. An official also condemning as flagrant violation of international law the seizure of a British-owned cargo ship in the Red Sea by Iran-backed Houthi rebels, who apparently thought it was an Israeli ship. America is listening to Fox News.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
The holiday week is here, and we're off to a wet start. Cloudy and chilly this afternoon, periods of rain. 52 for the high, periods of rain this evening and all night long. 48, that's it for the low. Tuesday, rain in the morning. Should come to an end by about midday Tuesday. Otherwise, cloudy and windy, 48. Wednesday, sunny and 48 degrees. And then Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, sunny and 55. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Stewie. I was going to talk about Stewie, not Slim 180. When you were looking for a bagel loan mortgage, which you've heard me talk about, and when you talk to Stewie about this, he explains it in detail, but I'm going to sum up for you here just a minute. When you go to get a mortgage and you're paired up with a realtor and you're with somebody who you trust, and they have partners who they often refer to when it comes to lending, they may not be in partnership specifically with Stewart's American Mortgage. That doesn't mean the people who they are referring to are bad, but I want to make sure that you know that you can reach out to Stewie just for a second opinion to see if he can get you a better deal on likely the biggest loan you're ever going to take out. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Stewie will walk you through how the bagel loan, only at Stewart's American Mortgage, will make it so that you don't have to pay any closing costs when you go through to secure that mortgage. Closing costs are significant, and that savings will be incredibly impactful to your bottom line. When you talk to Stewie, he'll also tell you how he can close in less than 2 weeks. So if you're looking to be a competitive buyer, to make a top offer, and to close quickly so you can get the job done, Stewie is there to help you walk through that process. He's incredibly helpful. He is making sure that you understand everything as you're going through it. He's helped me with 2 refinances myself. Get your mortgage with Stewart's American Mortgage. 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan. NMLS number 226715.
Brian Kilmeade is coming back to St. Louis with his new book. Join us Friday, December 1st for an evening of drinks, dinner, and discussion at Brookdale Farms. Start your holiday season in style. Get tickets at 971talk.com/events. While no child should have to spend the holidays in the hospital, there are many at SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital who will not be able to experience the joy of opening gifts around their tree. Please join 97.1 FM Talk and give the gift of hope and healing to Cardinal Glennon kids and support the Tree of Hope year-end giving campaign. Your gift ensures these brave patients can continue to receive the critical care they need during these challenging times. Thank you for giving at treeofhope.org.
Is your car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs? Ox gets it fixed? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-224-9174. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-224-9174. 800-224-9174. Or go to oxcarcare.com.
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues. And now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Drury Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Drury Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm. Call today at 314-238-7360. That's 314-238-7360. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
If you're trying to sell your home, there's only one group of agents in town I trust. Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers, getting your home sold fast and for top dollar. Check out thegelmanteam.com.
This is Kim St. Ange with the Mark Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk. I can see clearly now thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra with Ophthalmology Associates, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
At the same time, you have poll numbers and others saying that they don't feel it.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, and I think it's our job to explain to Americans what President Biden has done to improve the economy.
So when you listen to Janet Yellen there, Secretary Yellen, Secretary of the Treasury, why are you not feeling the economic success right now? And her job says it's our job to explain to Americans that Bidenomics is working. All right, well, keep trying. The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll for today. This is it. You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote. Is an 8-hour a day in office work week an acceptable standard expectation, yes or no? A lot of people out there right now, especially of a Gen Z, the younger generation right now, are saying that this is an unreasonable expectation and it's a terrible work-life balance. I think a lot of people experienced something that was different than the norm during COVID and working out of 2020 when everything shut down. It was kind of commonplace for people to have a different type of a lifestyle and work-life balance. And so people might think it's different now. We might be moving away from the standard expectation of what the work week looks like. So we want to know what you think. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and we'll get to some of your results here later on in this hour. I wanted to take this opportunity to bring our friend Matt Pauley on to the show. Matt Pauley reports for sports for KMOX, and he's on with us right now on the YouTube Live, so come join us there. Welcome back to the show, Matt. Some news, some things happening with the St. Louis Cardinals. It's been a while since we've been able to talk about something like that.
Yeah, actually a bunch of stuff happening. So the first thing today, Lance Lynn, he is returning to the Cardinals, 1-year deal, $10 million. Can be up to $13 million depending on what happens. And then we're just getting official word from the Cardinals. Daniel Descalso is returning to the organization. He is going to serve as the bench coach on the staff, and Joe McEwing is being reassigned to a special assistant to John Mozeliak. So
all right.
Two pretty major things happening for the Cardinals.
Well, let's talk real quick here first about the Lance Lynn signing. You said it's 1 year with an option, $10 million. I think it's kind of hard to reflect on the last season and go, like, what are the holes that we have here? Because it's like the season was a hole. So it's a big hole to fill. Yeah. A lot of people key in on starting pitching as one of the key areas, the priority areas that we need to fix. Tell me about Lance Lynn, where he's been, what he's been doing, and what the expectation is for him to fill in here for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think the way we need to evaluate this is largely dependent upon what role they want to put him in. If he's been signed as a number one or number two for the Cardinals, that's not good. If he's been signed to be a back end of the rotation kind of guy, that's fine. If you're 3, 4, 5, go whatever order, Lynn, Michaelis, Matz, that's fine. His numbers last year were okay, 4.36 ERA. He gave up a ton of home runs. Last year, he gave up 44 home runs. So his velo's going down. He's still a strikeout guy. So it's really hard for me to evaluate this move because it makes the team better as long as they still bring in two guys to be in those top two spots.
Okay, so we wait and see what other kind of moves they want to make as far as starting pitching goes. And as far as Daniel Descalso goes, there's a lot of talk a couple weeks ago about where Yadier Molina might fit in. And, I guess comments about Yadi wanting to make something work in St. Louis and still, having that passionate love for the city that he built his career in. I don't know where the Yadi part fits into this right now, but what do you have to say about Daniel Descalso and what he might offer the St. Louis Cardinals?
Yeah, I think it's good because you have a guy who recently played Major League Baseball on the coaching staff, and that's something that they did not have since Skip Schumacher left, and that's an important thing for the organization. Now, what this tells you is Yadier Molina is not going to be the team's bench coach. Daniel Descalso has that position. A lot of people have talked about Yadi as a potential bench coach. That's not going to happen. I think it's pretty clear that Yadi's going to have a role in this organization, whether that's an everyday member of the coaching staff, whether that's somebody who works with catchers throughout the organization, whether it's some other type of role that the organization is going to, sculpt just for him. It's anybody's guess at this point. In the statement today, the press release from the Cardinals announcing the Descalso move, they explicitly say more moves to the staff are going to be made. So the Cardinals are not standing pat where it's just Descalso in for McEwing and they go from there. I think this is a good thing. I'm still very curious to see what kind of role Molina is going to have in the organization.
So we're speaking with Matt Pauley, a KMOX host of Sports Open Line. I want to know about the balance of, I still can't look at the Schilt thing and make much sense of it. It really smacks of there's stuff that went on behind the scenes that we just aren't privy to, and you just got to go with the decision of the club, of course. Schilt gets fired when he gets fired when the season, when the Cardinals are having like one of the best streaks, I don't know, in Major League Baseball history. Ollie Marmol has I'm 39 years old. Is it the worst season of my lifetime? I mean, it feels like it. That's for sure. He's still there. And Yachty is kind of just waiting in the wings. Makes me kind of wonder, is Ollie going to get another shot at this? And Yachty or Molina is on deck to maybe take over the club as a manager if we continue to move down this direction.
Yeah, I think Ollie would have a hard time keeping his job if the next season looked anything even remotely similar to what this past season looked like. I don't think this past season was on Marmol at all. I like Oliver Marmol a lot. I think he's a young manager who has a ton of potential. When you look at the issues that existed on the team last year, I put very few of them at the feet of Oliver Marmol. But it's a business. It's a high-level business. It's about winning. So you're not going to have back-to-back seasons like that and keep your job as a manager. If Molina's around, then clearly he's a great baseball mind, and he would be right in there in contention to get the job. But I would also say, look, if the Cardinals do what they're supposed to do this offseason, if they do go sign 2 pitchers to put at the top of the rotation and they turn it around and are right there playing at a high level like we're used to seeing them play, there's going to be no issue in terms of Marmol keeping his job moving forward.
One of the other big news stories of the weekend, of course, we just found out that Lance Lynn has been signed to a 1-year contract with an option. That news breaking today, along with the addition of Daniel Descalzo to the coaching staff for the 2024 St. Louis Cardinals. Quite a few non-tenders that really kind of had people going, wait, what's this about? Including Kisner and Dakota Hudson, Juan Yepes, and the fourth one escapes my mind right now.
Jake Woodford.
Talk to me about, some of the pitching, and you got a catcher in there that's been with the club through some interesting times here. What do you think about these non-tenders, and what might it mean for the future of the ball club?
Kisner was the one that was most noticeable because he did such a nice job this past season. Pitchers like throwing to him. Clearly, the organization made the decision that they were ready to move forward with Ivan Herrera as being the backup catcher. And we knew something was probably up when Pedro Pajes earlier in the week had been added to the 40-man roster. You generally don't carry 4 catchers on the 40-man roster at this point in the offseason. So the question for the Cardinals was, do they keep Kisner around with the hope that they can maybe find a deal for him, or do they just put all of their resources and all their focus into what the roster is going to look like next season? If you trade an Andrew Kisner, and I think he probably would have had some trade value, you're getting kind of like a low-level prospect or something. It's not anything that's going to make a huge impact on the team. So the team made the decision that Ivan Herrera, who just was named the minor league player of the year in the organization, that they are ready for him to take on a big role at the major league level. And the cost of doing that is they move on from Andrew Kisner. You kind of feel bad for Juan Yepes. You think about it, he had trade value a year ago, and then he just kind of got buried this past season. Jake Woodford was a guy who had every opportunity in the world. He had a great spring. He maybe had the best spring of any pitcher for the Cardinals last year, and then he just could not take that into the regular season. And I think Dakota Hudson had probably gone about as far as he could go inside this organization. So if you're coming off a really good season, maybe you keep those guys around and you say, you know what, we'll work out a deal and we'll trade these guys. But the focus right now is do everything you can for the 2024 Cardinals, and either those players are not going to contribute in 2024 or they were players that the Cardinals were ready to move on from, so they went ahead and just non-tendered them.
In your experience of watching, every move that this ball club is making and seeing how the St. Louis Cardinals, people still showed up and bought tickets to go to the games, and they still were able to have a strong attendance here, but it could have been stronger, and I'm sure that the revenue could have been better. The baseball absolutely needs to be better. Do you think that the front office is taking this as seriously right now as they need to guarantee that 2024 isn't going to look at all like 2023?
They better be. That was bad.
They better be. Is that's part of the question here? I'm wondering. You think
I think they
are?
It? Yeah, I think they are. I think they realize that what they had last season just cannot happen again. Now, the other side of that is the financial constraints, and you're in a really kind of murky area right now because the regional sports network, Bally Sports, is not going to exist after next year. They're going through a bankruptcy thing right now. This is the final year that they're broadcasting NHL and NBA games. Next year is going to be the final year that they broadcast Major League Baseball, and then Bally's going to basically cease to exist at that point. So nobody knows that's connected to Bally what their regional TV money is going to look like, and that's a big part, especially for the Cardinals. That's a big part of what you're doing. So, but we just saw Aaron Nola sign a deal where he's making $25 million a year, which really isn't that much.
Yeah.
And that's probably a good thing for the Cardinals that the market opens up at $25 million for one of these top pitchers. I think they realize with all due respect to everybody involved, I think they realize kind of the dumpster fire nature of the season that they just completed, and that they have a lot of work to do to get it done. Will they complete that work? That's the question, and I think they probably will. I'm not 100% sure that they will, and even if they don't, I don't think that for sure means that they didn't take this seriously. I do think they're taking it seriously.
We're speaking with Matt Pauley, the host of KMOX Sports Open Line, and very, very highly encourage you to follow him on Twitter as well, because that's where I found out a lot of this information. You can go to Matt Pauley on air on Twitter and keep up to date with the news as it continues to happen. Last question before we let you go. You're playing. I guess you're playing with the Cardinals' money when we make our fantasy hopes and dreams for the offseason with the winter meetings coming up. What is there a blockbuster opportunity out there right now for the St. Louis Cardinals? Is there anything you're kind of having your eye on? Like a Nolan Arenado when we pulled that deal off. Getting Pujols back, that breathed a whole lot of energy into the ball club in one way or the other. Is there anything like that you think maybe that could happen this winter?
I mean, there are some guys who are available via trade that the Cardinals could be in on. I really don't want them to go that route because I think the cost is going to be expensive. I don't want to see them trade Nolan Gorman, and I don't know how they go acquire a top-tier pitcher without trading Nolan Gorman away. So as great as it would be for them to go get some of these guys that have been mentioned, I still think the number one thing they need to be focused on is Yamamoto. He's the Japanese pitcher. He just posted today, which means that basically teams can start negotiating with him. There's a posting fee that would go to his team in Japan for whoever ends up signing him. It's going to be a long-term deal. It's going to be a high-money deal, but he is the one player that exists that can most improve the Cardinals at the snap of a finger. So they've got to do everything that they possibly can, and they're going to be bidding against other teams, bigger market teams. There's a lot of things going against them. Certainly no guarantee they're going to pull this off. It's going to be tough for them to do so, but Yamamoto is the number one guy they need to be focused on.
Why would Yamamoto come to the St. Louis Cardinals over one of these big market teams?
Yeah, he's got some connections. Lars Nootbaar is helpful. He's friends with Lars Nootbaar. He has the same agent as Nolan Arenado. There's a few different connections. The team that he plays for or played for in Japan, there's a working relationship between that team and the Cardinals. So there's a lot of connections between him and the Cardinals. But if the Cardinals offer him $25 million a year and other teams are offering him 30 plus, he's probably going to the teams that offer him 30 plus.
Well, Matt Pauley, thanks for bringing us that information and the news of Lance Lynn back to the St. Louis Cardinals. Daniel Descalso not on the field, but on the bench as the bench coach. And as more news breaks, we'll have you back here and let us get the straight facts from you so I can ask my usually emotionally charged questions because that's what I do with the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm very emotionally involved, and I try not to put any sense to it. So I want to ask you my crazy questions so you can give us the sense. And we appreciate you. Thanks for being here with us.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Matt Pauley, Sports Open Line host at KMOX, very reliable source of information. And do yourself a favor if you want to not have all of the super emotional swings that often come along with following your favorite sports teams. You just want the facts and you want some reality, some grounding on it. Matt Pauley on air, Pauley on Twitter. Go follow him. Glad that he was able to join us there and give us those details at a last-minute call. He appreciates you guys, so we appreciate him as well. We're going to take a quick break. Morning Frey Show around the corner. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Is an 8-hour-a-day in-office work week an acceptable standard expectation? Yes or no? We want to know what you think. We've got people commenting on this right now. We know that lots has changed as demographics change in the workplace and as COVID has turned everything upside down. We want to know how you feel about it. Let's read here from Jackie. The 8-hour work week is necessary for 8-hour-a-day work week is necessary for many jobs. I'm good with it and would prefer 32 hours, but every job cannot afford the same flexibility. What do you think? Let us know. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
The Retirement Advisory Group is online at retirementkey.com. And when you are looking to go on and take the money and run, as was suggested there, that's what kind of happens in retirement. You've worked your butt off, you've saved, and you want to be able to go run with it wherever you have dreamt of running in your retirement. Lots of travel, maybe establishing a new piece of property that you want to grow and work on in your retirement, maybe moving to a warmer climate or closer to family. Whatever your options are, the Retirement Advisory Group is ready to sit down with you at no cost to you and have a discussion about how your worry-free retirement can be right around the corner. It does require you to make a phone call to set up the appointment. That's pretty much it. 314-993-9494. When you call 314-993-9494, you're going to set up an appointment with Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, or Tammy Kershaw so you can discuss where you are. And as retirement is right around the corner, maybe you've just recently retired, they're going to help you understand tips and tricks that they can work with you to make sure that the retirement is, in fact, worry-free. Set up your appointment today. You can learn all the info you need online at retirementkey.com.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, visit mersgoodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Mark Cox here. I've got an idea. Let's all go to Italy next spring. I'm going to the Amalfi Coast next spring with my friends of conservativetours.com, and you can go along as well. We'll cover Rome, the Amalfi Coast, Puglia, the Isle of Capri, the Abbey of Monte Cassino. It may be one of Italy's best-kept secrets. You know, I've been to the Amalfi Coast before. It is without a doubt one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. While you're there, you can take a high-speed jet foil over to the Isle of Capri, which is a site that everyone needs to see. Positano is absolutely beautiful. Sorrento is just gorgeous. You'll get to visit the ruins of Pompeii as one of your side trips if you go on this trip. It's $53.67 a person. That includes your airfare from St. Louis. Call them toll-free at 888-733-9494. It's 888-733-9494 or conservativetours.com.
Attention all food lovers. Interested in a new concept of dining that positively impacts our community? Social Kitchen is a 2.5-acre hospitality campus featuring an award-winning Italian restaurant, food truck park, crepe and ice cream parlor, and a dog park located in the heart of Swansea, Illinois, at the corner of 159 and North Belt East. It is designed to enhance community connection, promote entrepreneurship, and serve individuals or families facing hunger through the innovative Currency of Caring dining program across the Metro East. The program revolves around delivering dignified dining experiences through a network of food trucks and partnering restaurants. Special meal tokens are available at all participating partner restaurants for $8 and online at currencyofcaring.com. These tokens can be given to individuals or families in need and are redeemable for a free, hot, nutritious meal at participating partner restaurants. To learn more, visit currencyofcaring.com. Once again, that is currencyofcaring.com.
How would you like to make no mortgage payments until next year? Are you tired of making minimum payments on high-interest credit cards? Is student loan repayment giving you the blues? Your home equity is at an all-time high. Use that equity to save hundreds every month.
Call 314-567-GOLD now and give yourself a payment break. That's 314-567-GOLD. Or visit goldenoaklending.com. NMLS 114937.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Fall is here. Make sure your furnace is ready to safely heat your home when cold weather arrives. Get in your comfort zone with the heating system check. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
We'll start Thanksgiving week with some Thanksgiving political discussions. 97.1 FM Talk political insider Scott Jennings with me Monday afternoon.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Rihanna. You have my heart, and we'll never be worlds apart. Maybe in magazines, but you still be my star.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Back to the Annie Frey Show. Hope you had a great weekend. I love holiday weeks. They make me happy.
I like working on holiday weeks because it feels like you're not really working. But that's kind of every day for me.
Oh,
you were about to say it, and I stole it.
No,
I saw the look in your eye.
Sometimes not saying anything is saying everything you need to say.
Yeah, it is.
And I just looked at you, and then you said it yourself. It was like magic.
It's really amazing.
No,
you're able to do that.
I don't know. If you're getting ready for a vacation, you got to in a lot of people understand this for various different reasons. But if you're going to go on vacation, you still have to do all the work. You just have to do the work double before or after when you get back. But a holiday week's not really the same. There's a little bit more exhale. People take things less seriously.
Well, that's true, but there's still, when you're on the producer side, Brad.
Yeah, there's still stuff you have to do.
there's a lot of prep. There's less prep for the actual live show.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of background stuff, unfortunately. But hey, I mean, that's all part of it. And to me, leading up to a holiday or a vacation for me is more fun because yes, you still have to do all the work. You got to pack the work into 3 days instead of 5. But it's fun.
But that's only like when you got a holiday week coming up, you know that it's coming up, and to produce the show, you know that it's coming up, so you've got longer than just like 3 days to pack it in. So it's only 3 days if you leave it to 3 days.
That's true.
So you can take that because you're only really building a small segment, and you can stretch that out over a couple weeks or a week or so, and it's really not that bad for a holiday week.
Well, the YouTube live chat poll for today, if you go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, we broadcast live there every day, and there's always a poll in the live chat portion of the daily live broadcast at the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Is an 8-hour-a-day in-office work week an acceptable standard expectation? From what I understand, a lot of people are struggling with this poll, understanding it, and I'm just telling you, you're thinking too hard. You know what I mean? I mean, isn't it pretty clear that what we did societally, what the standard expectation was, you work 40 hours a week and you work 9 to 5. Now, there are people who are like, I don't want that kind of life, but you were saying if you were looking to do something that wasn't the 9 to 5, that was an active choice you had to make to do something different than the status quo, right? Is that complicated?
Well, no. I think that's understood. But that said, even understanding that being the question, I still think there's a lot of ways to approach the answer to that question.
Which is what we write every question so that you can interpret it. Just if you want to clarify it, you leave a comment.
Yes.
Frank says 40 hours is pushing it. People have families that need to eat. I added that last part. Is 40 hours a week, is that pushing it?
No, that's not pushing it. And in fact, so many jobs work that the in-office part is sort of the point of this question, in my opinion. Because it's not as if
it's not anymore emphasized in intent that for people who are like 8 hours a day.
Well, to me, putting in the same amount of hours, whether it's here or there, is where I find this question to be interesting, because it seems as if the answer is that you're still going to be putting in the same amount of work. It's just from where.
Katie says, question regarding the poll. Do the four of you on the Annie Frey Show work a 40-hour in-house work week? You all speak about constantly monitoring, keeping up with the news, so I'm curious. Well, all four of us have very different roles and are very necessary for the production of the show to do what the show does. Ryan, tell me what you spend 40 hours a week on.
It's about half and half. About half of what I do is concerning the show, and the other half is concerning general 97.1 stuff.
And you're the only one on the show that has a dual role. Everybody else is dedicated to the show.
Yes, the three of you are devoted to 97.1. Actually, Leah does a little bit of stuff for the station, but her primary role, probably 90% of what she does,
Leah,
is
come
for
here.
the show.
Yeah, I'm going to give her an opportunity to tell people where to go and what to do to help support her. If you want to help Leah, she's integrating very nicely into everything that we're doing here. So her main responsibility is definitely the show, but she does have a role that bleeds into other things. But for the show, if you said half of what you do here for your job, would you say you have a 40-hour in-house work week?
Not in-house, no. No, I do work from home.
Like what?
Just like everybody else. I do writing.
What are you writing for the station?
Promos, usually, and keeping track of just what's coming up, because all the events that we have, I just actually sent you guys an event promo that we're going to have to do so that we can start it on Black Friday.
And you wrote that at home?
No, I wrote that here, but I write stuff at home quite often. And I send it to myself. You guys do this all the time, too. I'm sure you do it all the time. I know you do. You're looking at news, and then you're bookmarking articles, and you're sending yourself stuff. So you're like reading stuff all the time from home. So that's part of it. COVID allowed us to work from home more. So I used to do quite a bit of editing at home. I don't really much anymore because I can do it all here, and I like being in the office more to do my editing. But it's just an interesting era because you can do so many things from home.
Brad, would you say that you work at minimum 40-hour in-house work week?
I would definitely say that, and I would say 100% of what I do has to do with the show. What my responsibilities are for on air versus also what the show's responsibilities are to the station, to the sales teams, to everything. Everything that I do has something to do with our show, and sometimes it's reaching out to other people, and sometimes it's just for the show within the show.
As the executive producer of the show, you were the number one advocate and producer for the show. Like the show, list things that you do in your job that you're doing while you're here, but then also bleeds in outside of that 40-hour work week.
Finding content for sure, like cutting audio. I cut the audio here, but most of the audio that I've compiled, I would say I probably compile about 55% of it while I'm out and about and whatnot. It's just like you got a little downtime. What's trending on Twitter? What's scrolling on Twitter? Same thing with like news articles.
You would be reading through Twitter in your downtime,
right?
And you did before you worked here.
Yep.
It just requires you, if you see something, to constantly be asking yourself,
exactly,
does this help the show? Is this something that the listeners would be interested in? So then you just have to do a little extra work with it.
Yep. And then sometimes I'm booking guests outside of office hours because that's whenever they get back to me. So I was like, I'll leave here, 4:30, depending on what I got done at the end of the day.
What time do you get here?
8:30, depending on traffic. But and my times vary and shift with that. But the boss always says we're not about punching clocks.
Yeah.
So there's leeway there. And I try to get here, and that's the equivalent of a 9 to 5. That's an 8 to 4, 8:30 to 4:30, whatever it is. But I'll send a message when we get off the air here. I'll start reaching out to some guests for next couple days, and sometimes they don't get back to me 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. They're busy too, and it's just whenever their contact or their point of contact emails me back. I get guests that text me and just on random stuff, stuff that's about something they did on Twitter, like, hey, check this out. This is pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I looked at it.
And then you forward it to me, and you're like, maybe this might be interesting for the show. And then we have a conversation about it, and then you get back to them, and it's a constant thing. But you are definitely in the office You serve a 40-hour week. Leah, the newest member of the Annie Frey Show team and hitting home runs every time she comes into work. So give us, we were saying you were fully dedicated to the show, but you actually do have some responsibilities that support entities outside of just the Annie Frey Show.
Yeah, so I also work 40 hours a week. I'd say it's 70-30. 70% of what I do is for you guys, 100% Annie Frey Show. 30% is general 97.1 station stuff, so uploading articles to the website, creating videos and reels for just the 97.1 from the various shows on here, Mark Cox, Mark Reardon, your show, and working with the other digital person, Anna, as far as getting those videos up and and stuff like that. So
if people wanted to support, I'm asking you a favor, listeners. If you want to support what Leah is doing and make her look real great when the stats come in, I don't know if they actually. I know that they track metrics and stuff like that. But of course, with the Annie Frey Show, our Annie Frey YouTube channel, the Annie Frey Show Twitter account, we have an Annie Frey Show Facebook account. I would love for you to go even check if you are still following the channel, because I get people messaging me with some regularity that I used to follow you, but I never saw your stuff. And then I looked and then I realized something happened and I don't follow you anymore. So you can follow us there, but you also help with station accounts. Do you know all the different places that you are, because you can create one piece of content and it goes to a bunch of other places. Oh, I forgot the Annie Frey Instagram account. That one too, Annie Frey Show. Talk to me about places that people could go follow some of the work that you're doing for the station, that they could go subscribe, like, follow, whatever.
Really just 97.1, Facebook, Instagram. We don't put our videos on Facebook yet. We're still working on that, but they all go up on Instagram. And I know we have a lot of various interviews and fun reels on Instagram, so definitely check those out.
Okay, cool. I would say I do not do a 40-hour in-office work week. I get here sometime on, my standard is to get here usually between 11:15 and the show. I'm usually in studio unpacking my stuff no later than 11:45, and that's usually the latest that I would get here. And then I leave right after the show to go get my kids. So I have a lot of flexibility in the time that I spend, but it really is kind of a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week thing for me to be plugged into what's going on. So if Speaker Johnson says, hey, we're going to release the J6 tapes on Friday, I have to kind of keep at least one eye or two side eyes on what stories are developing out of that. I have to make sure that we're constantly fishing out guests. Brad can probably tell you more than anybody else that the time with which I might message you something about the show, there's
no limits on it. Sometimes I get after Annie because it's like, you sent this to me at 2 a.m. Now, let me preface this by saying this. She doesn't expect me to respond at 2 a.m.
That was one of the first things I told you.
Yeah, she's like, you will get message from me at all hours of the night. You don't have to respond at it. And I'll respond if I'm awake. I'll respond.
Yeah.
And when I stop responding, that means I fell asleep. But
which is allowed.
Yes. And I keep trying to encourage Annie to fall asleep.
Yeah. Me too. I keep trying to encourage her to do the same thing.
But yeah, there are times when I'll get them 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, or 6 in the afternoon, just different times, whenever it pops up and whenever it's convenient. It's one of those things to me, and this is the way I approach it. If I'm thinking about it now, I'm going to do it now so that I don't forget to do it later. And I assume that's kind of what you're doing. I'm going to do it now, put it there so it's there, and then I won't forget about it.
If you're not following the news cycle, and you dip out and you dip back in, there are big things that will develop in the time that you're not paying attention that are moot by the time that you do start paying attention. So it is kind of you got to just keep steady and stick with it, which is why when I do take vacations that are actual vacations where I might get some, I'm not going to say enjoyment, but relaxation out of it, I have to take at minimum a week. I need to have like 2 weekends where in the middle, I don't have to be. It's like I can come back and I can catch up. I can just try to jump back into the revolving news cycle and catch up at that point. And what I wasn't exposed to can sometimes make me less prepared to do the show. But during that week, I'm usually spending time with my family. And for me to be able to unplug and put my phone down and not, play games with my kids or go outside with my kids, whatever it might be, that is a sacrifice I've been willing to make. So I would say we all work a minimum of 40 hours, but it is not in office. And man, when we were working and doing the stuff from home, I really liked that. I really, really liked that. But we can't do the best show for you if we are not in the same room together.
That's a fact. Having gone through an entire year, maybe more than a year by the end of it.
I was out from March 17th of 2020. I did not come back until September of 2021.
Yeah. I came back in the studio, I think, in May of 21. But then you were on maternity leave. So
yeah.
That was, the timing was just a surprise. But it really is a lot better. And if you've been listening to the show for any amount of time.
I mean, we think it's better.
No, we're going to tell you it is. Because it is a lot harder. If you've been listening, think back to 20 and 20 and 21, where Annie would say, and maybe you never picked this up, but I figured that you would. If you were getting ready to talk to me, you'd say, "Hey, Ryan," and then you'd say something.
I would always have to address the person first and then ask the question, and that was our non-obnoxious way of being like, and now I am going to talk to you.
And now you, because there's just a little bit of a delay on the video where we couldn't look at each other in the same way and just have that nod where, hey, I'm talking to you now.
Or
it
in here,
couldn't happen.
I can pivot and look right at Leah, and Leah knows, all right, I'm on deck. Annie's going to ask me something. I got no idea what it is, but I'm getting ready to say something. I look back at Ryan, and he knows, okay, now I'm going to talk to him.
It's just so much faster in person.
Yes, which makes it better.
Yeah, and we're able to do more ridiculous stuff because, I mean, there are times, too,
this is where
we'll
you
just
get your
stop
license
talking.
from.
Yeah. The best is when, nobody talks, and everybody looks at each other like, now what do we do?
The best part of this radio show is when nobody talks.
Leah, put that on the billboard and make that the slogan for the show.
Okay.
We're great even when we don't talk.
Do billboards? Man, I'm gonna write this down. Maybe this is a poll for this week. Do you think a billboard would help the Annie Frey show reach people?
And also, secondary poll,
would you
can you buy it?
No. I don't know what a billboard costs. Maybe we could crowdsource a billboard. I've never had. I mean, folks, I'm gonna tell you about this when we come back. We're way past time.
Yeah.
A little bit of the evolution of the Annie Frey show. We'll discuss it when we come back in regards to a billboard. But I firmly believe that us coming to work and not being, we can do our job remotely. Being present makes what we do better. And I think that is replicatable across a whole host of different types of industries. We want to know what you think. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, vote, and let us know in the comments how you feel about it. We'll be right back.
Together we'll mend your heart. Because when the sun shines, we'll shine together. Told you I'll be here forever. Said I'll always be your friend. Took an oath, I'ma stick it out to the end. Even it's raining,
This is the Annie Frey Show.
we'll still have each other. You can stand under my umbrella. You can stand under my umbrella.
Have you heard about the Blue Ribbon campaign yet? Well, if you haven't, here I am telling you about it. It's something you might want to be involved in. It's with the Jewish Federation here of St. Louis. The Jewish Federation STL's Blue Ribbon campaign is there to support our neighbors in Israel. Every dollar that you donate, if you choose right now to go to jfedstl.org, every dollar you donate will go to saving lives and providing support in Israel. Many of you, like me, have seen the stories. They continue to come out. Revelations of how Hamas went in and terrorized his people are so reprehensible. It's unbelievable. And with every story, you're sitting there thinking, I wish I could do something. I wish I could do more. Well, I have something that you can do, and it's going to be impactful. This is meaningful. Every dollar of your gift at jfedstl.org will go to legitimate, established, on-the-ground humanitarian nonprofits who are saving lives, rebuilding infrastructure, and providing trauma relief. Will you join me in this, in the Blue Ribbon campaign with the Jewish Federation of St. Louis? Learn more at jfedstl.org.
There's been a lot of government mandates from eliminating 80% efficient furnaces to gas ovens now, and gas cars, it wears on a person with common sense to where, because we ask ourselves, if I didn't purchase this 80% furnace and I purchased a 96% furnace, what is my savings? If you want to know that answer and you want to heat and cool your home efficiently and affordably, again, remember, common sense, talk, call me. It's one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. That's 314-293-2600. Again, Missouri and Illinois, the easiest of easy numbers, 314-293-2600, or the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisor Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. I have many female clients and widows that don't fully understand their investment choices. Would you like a retirement review and a second opinion on your current retirement plan? Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying, and would you like to learn how you can avoid those fees? Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees for the past 37 years. Let our family help your family. So go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Hello, I am State Treasurer Vivek Malik. There is a program in my office that allows you to save for your loved one's education. The Most 529 program helps families save for K-12, college, trade, or technical schools. Contributions to most 529 accounts grow tax-free and are eligible for a state tax deduction of up to $16,000. Celebrate this holiday season by giving to your child's education. Learn more at MissouriMost.org.
Sponsored by the Missouri State Treasurer's Office.
The Annie Frey Show poll of the day is in an 8-hour in-office work week, which is really supposed to be day. An acceptable standard, is that an acceptable standard expectation? You can see why there's a lot of nuance to this because I can barely get through reading it. Yes or no, is an 8-hour in-office workday an acceptable standard expectation? It is 1:51. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Big ideas, real debate, solid entertainment. It's all here on St. Louis's home for conservative talk, 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being here with us today. We've been talking about the 40-hour work week, the in-office expectations, kind of what the standard big kid job, grown-up, what do the youth call it? The youth? Adulting?
Adulting.
I hate it. Is that standard expectation of work, is that a good thing? Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and you can vote for us. I was talking about the evolution of the Annie Frey Show, and I saw there's some local radio shows right now in St. Louis that had billboards. I know the people who are on those shows, was happy for them that they got that because that's not an easy thing to do. Do you think that a billboard, if you're driving through St. Louis, well, forget about that. Do you think a billboard in St. Louis is effective?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
Brad?
Yeah, I think billboards effective.
When you go into a city, like if you're going into, let's just pick a different city. If you're driving into Cleveland, or if you're driving into Nashville or something, and you get into the town and you see a billboard, you kind of know, unless the people suck who create the billboard, like, oh, that's Nashville's people for this. For sports talk, for news talk, for country music, like that.
Yeah.
You kind of have the same people in different cities that do the same thing, but the question is, how well do they do it? You tune in because you're like, oh, that's my thing. I want to know what the Predators are doing, so
Yeah.
I tune into this channel.
Yeah, and I'll do that actually.
That's the Nashville Predators.
I will. Let me clarify. I don't do that. I will drive through a city and see a billboard and turn on a station if I'm looking for music or whatever I'm looking for at the time. I think billboards in particular for radio are actually very effective because it is on the spot advertising. You're using the product as you're seeing it.
That is, yeah. You might not see a broader audience, but you're seeing people who have access to your product there.
Yeah.
When we got this show, there's a shift on the lineup for the station, and when we were able to get this show, and the Mark Cox Morning Show went to the mornings, nobody. I could have done song and dance from noon to 3, and nobody would have been like, I think we could do better here. It wasn't the focus. So it's never been, I'm not saying this like I'm hurt about it, but it's never been a priority that we do well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, we're middays.
It's middays. If you want to make it in radio, you do drive time. I really like noon to 3.
I do too.
It's fine with
I agree.
me.
We all love it.
Mark and Mark do a wonderful job. They are great at what they do. They are happy where they are. I am happy where I am. We are harmonious.
And I will say, from having worked at other stations and other formats and other, even in TV and stuff, I'm happy to be in this slot, partially because this slot's hard to make it in local media.
Yes, it's very easy to take us off the air and put on something that just you push play and there's nobody even here.
But this show is doing really well. And
it's because we're kind of doing it secretly, which is not how you do things in radio.
But that's one of the reasons it's fun to be a part of, is because it's kind of like you're a little bit of an underdog and we're exceeding expectations and things like that. That's always fun to be a part of.
Yeah. I don't want this. I don't want to be in it. I don't want to be in the spotlight internally.
Just externally.
Yeah. Well, I think I see these billboards for radio shows, and there's a part of me like, that would be so cool.
I know. I do too.
Then there's a part of me that's like, if that happened, I'd be embarrassed.
Let's do the picture where I stand in front of you. You can only see half of your face.
That's like all the show pictures. Should I if Steve's listening right now, I'm probably have a text message. You're not getting a billboard, Andy.
Don't worry. We're not asking Odyssey for it.
No, I'm asking someone else for it.
Yeah.
You listening right now who wants to see us on a billboard. I mean, I don't know. I would be embarrassed, though. There'd be a part of me that would be embarrassed.
I'll take that from you.
We'll be right back. Don't go away.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
I have been working with Katie and Jesse at STS Armory. This is where I go to shop for firearms, where I absolutely 100% recommend my friends and family to get their conceal and carry classes done so that they can be knowledgeable, experienced, and responsible with carrying their gun in the state of Illinois. STS-armory.com, all of those things. But I'm also working with Katie and Jesse on a podcast, and we're going to be uploading our first episode this holiday weekend, a few episodes just to kind of give you a little extra something to listen to over the holiday weekend about being prepared. of course, being prepared, and we call it practical prepping. We call it something that isn't about just like the worst case scenario, but you get a bad storm. The electrical grid goes down for a second while they restore power. You need to know what to have. They can help you with all of these questions, from the most simple questions to the very, very expert question levels that you have. Reach out to STS Armory. You can find them online at sts-armory.com.
Mark Cox here. You're not alone if you think when you hear an ad saying, "We'll buy your home for cash," you're just a few short minutes away from a lowball offer, right? Well, I was talking with Gloria Liu from Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Here's what she said. It's crucial to know the truth about those cash offer companies. You spend years earning equity in your home. You decide you need to sell it. A cash investment company buys your home for 15% below market value, puts a little TLC into it, then sells it for 10% above its original true market value. Here's what I can say. Gloria Liu's different. She has multiple cash buyers who bid against each other, giving you the highest cash offer to choose from. Zero hassle, no showings, and close quickly. Learn more, get multiple cash offers today by calling Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The White House keeping an eye on holiday travel. Lisa Brady, Fox News. As Americans crisscross the country for Thanksgiving, kicking off what the TSA expects to be a record holiday season.
If any issues arise, obviously the Department of Transportation, this administration will be on top of it.
White House spokeswoman Greene Jean-Pierre, a year after widespread delays and cancellations for air travelers, blamed largely on a combination of bad weather and staffing shortages. President Biden is 81 years old today, prompting renewed questions at the White House about age concerns, especially among younger voters in recent polls.
The president is focusing on the job at hand. He truly is. He's focusing on how we're going to deliver for the American people.
The Nonpartisan Commission on Presidential Debates just announcing a debate schedule beginning next September. Jean-Pierre referring questions on that to the Biden campaign. A U.S. brokered effort for Hamas to release hostages remains a work in progress.
As you heard the Deputy National Security Advisor say yesterday, we believe we're closer than we've ever been. So we're hopeful.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby also says there are too many civilian casualties in Gaza, but he takes issue with pro-Palestinian protesters accusing the president of supporting genocide. Kirby says that's what Hamas wants in Israel, not what Israel wants in Gaza. On a surprise visit to Kyiv, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin reaffirms continuing U.S. support for Ukraine.
I announced today another $100 million drawdown using presidential drawdown authority that it'll provide additional artillery munitions, additional interceptors for air defense.
This as President Biden's request for more aid for Ukraine and for Israel remains on hold in Congress amid spending debates with lawmakers now on Thanksgiving break. America is listening to Fox News.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at AlignProbiotics.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
The holiday week is here, and we're off to a wet start. Cloudy and chilly this afternoon, periods of rain. 52 for the high, periods of rain this evening and all night long. 48, that's it for the low. Tuesday, rain in the morning. Should come to an end by about midday Tuesday. Otherwise, cloudy and windy, 48. Wednesday, sunny and 48 degrees. And then Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, sunny and 55. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hey, this is Joe Buck, here to tell you about Sound Story, the perfect gift for the holiday season. I miss my dad every day. When I want to hear his voice and his stories, all I have to do is go online. Well, imagine if you could do the same. With Sound Story, your loved ones' voices and stories are saved for your family forever. Sound Story is a professionally produced hour-long conversation in which you or one of your loved ones is interviewed by your choice of one of our professional interviewers, including Mark Cox. With just a couple of clicks at mysoundstory.com, you can purchase a Sound Story gift certificate and your holiday shopping will be complete. Go to mysoundstory.com for more information and enter promo code MARC, M-A-R-C, for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate. Purchase your loved one's gift certificate today. Schedule your Sound Story later. Again, that's mysoundstory.com, promo code MARC for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate. Sound Story. For you, for them, forever.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
Pluto TV is your home for the holidays with 9 holiday channels, including holiday movie favorites by Lifetime, plus Hallmark movies and more, all for free. Download the Pluto TV app on all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
I can see clearly now thanks to the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and introducing Samuel Berry. You can too. Call 314-966-5000 or check out youridoc.com. That's youridoc.com.
St. Louis's destination for questioning the narrative.
Your home for conservative talk.
This is 97.1 FM Talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Monday. Monday of a likely shorter week for you. Did either of you ever work retail? Did you ever have a Black Friday experience where you had to work in some capacity, something that had to do with Black Friday?
Never.
I worked fast food. Does that count?
Sure. Maybe.
Yeah,
you tell us.
Well, Thanksgiving. Well, I worked on both Thanksgiving and on
Taco Bell?
Taco Bell on Black Friday.
You worked at Taco Bell on Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving, but we were only open. Yeah, that was why I was like, why are we even open?
Till like 6.
We were only open to 2.
To 2.
Yes.
You were open daytime?
Daytime, and here's why.
Because nobody else was?
Nobody wants to cook their daytime meals for their Thanksgiving dinners.
Were you busy?
We were hammered.
I mean, like drunk, trashed,
They were
angry?
absolutely hammered.
Like that was one of those ones where we couldn't get away from our stations. We were just kind of standing there, and if we moved, it was because we needed to restock something.
If you were going to work in any fast food industry and be totally smashed, Taco Bell's probably where you mess up the least things because all the ingredients are the same. It's just different shapes.
Yeah, that's probably true. Although I wouldn't mind trying it at a Chick-fil-A and just seeing what happens.
But the thing about it is at Taco Bell, everybody wants their Taco Bell order a little bit different. Can you hold this? Can you add extra that? Very rarely do you just get it as is.
Do you judge those people?
Eventually. Not right away.
At the moment, you don't have time.
Not right away.
3 or 4 drinks in, you're feeling pretty good about it.
When you've made the same bean burrito 5 times because you're just so automatically throwing onions on it and they don't want onions, you're like, do. Bam, you throw the onions on, you're like, dang it.
How often are you just sending that one on, though? Because
Never. I never did.
Because
Brad has so much integrity.
Well, I'll tell you this story.
I believe that.
I had a friend.
I do too.
My best friend, whenever I was working at Taco Bell, one of the other people working the line thought it would be funny to just put, because there's a little bitty diced onions, they thought it'd be funny to put this diced onion right in the middle of the bean burrito. That person found it in the drive-thru and threw an open bean burrito back at my friend who was working the drive-thru and hit him in the side of the head.
Can you imagine if the people listening to the show didn't like what they were hearing, if they could throw burritos at us?
No.
There'd be a lot of burrito throwing.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to see out the windows. It'd be all bean burrito.
Beans everywhere.
Just beans. Has anybody ever ordered a bean burrito minus the beans?
No, nobody. That'd just be like red sauce and cheese. That's gross.
I'm gonna try that then.
But we've had people order tacos with beans instead of meat, and that's.
Do you ever hear somebody's modification of something and go, "That is genius"?
No.
No.
Oh yeah.
What is the best Taco Bell hack that you can forward along to us, Brad?
That I can forward along to you. Adding nacho cheese sauce to pretty much any burrito will up it.
To anything, which is what happens when you're smashed.
True. Oh, you know what? When I go to Cardinals games, they don't intend this to happen. But when they have the buffet out, if you get the good seats, I always will get a hot dog and then smother that thing in nacho cheese. And that is not their intent. They have the chips there for that reason. That is not a topping for the hot dogs. But they're not going to stop me. And I do it every time. And I just look right at them and I say, deal with it.
Oh, and thank you for the free tickets.
Yeah. Tough Talks.
Yeah, thanks,
Tough
Camo
Talks, the service industry people there.
Does the actual food, how do I say this best? This is like my job. If a food doesn't really have a really close relationship to actually being real food.
Food.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that have any impact whatsoever on your willingness to consume it?
No, gosh, no. No, the further away from the earth it gets, the more likely I am to eat it.
You're like a raccoon.
Yeah.
Or a possum.
For me, I like meat and potatoes so much and cheese that my philosophy is if it grows, it goes.
You know, possums have really, really important roles in our ecosystem.
I'm sure they do.
You better hope they do. What about you, Brad? The closest it adheres to the way God intended food to be consumed.
It used to not matter. It matters a whole lot now.
Why?
Because of my health. I have to make sure that I eat the healthy stuff so that I don't get worse off. You know, I don't want to end up with, like, I don't know, diabetes or something like that.
He's just proving that I am still very young. I haven't crossed that threshold.
You are
yet.
the oldest among us.
But
you're also diabetic.
In real life and practicality, I do not worry about the things that an adult should worry about. Therefore, I'm the youngest.
What did you... That was... Okay.
No, that's maturity, my guy.
What did you eat? What have you eaten so far today?
I had some leftover roast and carrots from
That's
yesterday.
very good.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, with Andrea's barbecue sauce on it.
That's a lie.
No, that's true.
Okay,
That's
good for
very
you.
true.
Well done to think of it.
Yeah.
To mention it here.
And I think I had, now here's what I do with my sodas now because of the diabetes, even though I'm just barely over the line, so I don't really have to take any medicine for it yet. That's what's weird, is so I still try to reduce the overall amount of sugar that I'm eating in a given day by cutting my soda. So I don't love the zeros or the diet sodas very much, but I'll pour half of a diet soda or a zero in, and then the other half a regular Dr. Pepper, so that it still tastes pretty good.
It's like what people
but
do
it's
with
half
sweet
the
tea,
sugar.
but you're doing it with soda.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have, how dramatically would you say, Ryan, you were diagnosed with diabetes a year ago?
Almost exactly a year. It was right around the beginning of December, I think.
How drastically has 2023 Ryan eating habits differed from previous?
Oh, it's been nuts because I've been on this roller coaster of trying to figure out what it means. At the beginning, I was thinking, oh no, because the way they presented it was, well, now you're diabetic. Now you pretty much have to cut out all sugar out of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. And then I found out, oh, my numbers are still really good as far as diabetes goes. Like in some countries, my numbers wouldn't even be considered diabetic yet. I'd be right on the line.
Metric system?
Yeah, metric
Okay.
system. Yeah, they measured their diabetes in meters.
I was thinking of countries that don't test and diagnose diabetes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Third
You go to
world
one of those like
countries?
super healthy
with a
countries.
witch doctor.
Yeah, it's all beach climate. They don't even worry about
Can
it.
you imagine Ryan going to see a witch doctor? The witch doctor would be like, just never mind.
They'd be like, "Oh man, this guy's really weird and has the Holy Spirit. I can't do anything to this guy." That'd be great. I should do that.
Will you just film it?
I will. I'll just
Okay.
walk in holding the camera,
It's
and
for
they're
the
gonna be like,
show.
"Okay, look, are you trying to create content, or are you here to witch doctor? Come on,
Yes.
Which one are you doing?"
Yes.
But overall, it has been a very strange year because it's just been like swinging back and forth between, oh, I'm fine, I'm going to go back to the way I was. Oh, wait, I can't go that far. I got to go back to some sort of middle. And I think at this point in the year, I'm back to, just try to reduce it. That's where I've landed.
So you're casual.
Yeah, like if you buy me an oatmeal cream pie,
Casually diabetic.
I'm totally eating that thing on the air while we're talking.
Do you want one?
Yeah.
I got to increase
If
my
you
oatmeal
could.
cream pie budget.
Yeah.
I cannot do it. I can't do it regularly. I feel bad.
Oatmeal cream pies?
For you. I can't buy them. No, I don't. I can't remember the last time I had an oatmeal cream pie. But I can remember the last time you did.
Yeah, it was like a week ago.
It was Friday.
Yeah.
And I bought it for you.
Yeah.
I can't do
appreciate
that again. I can't do that with regularity.
Because it's too much?
No, because you are a diabetic.
Yeah,
and
but
if
it's
you
fun.
have some sort of episode and there's video and like public knowledge of me feeding you cream pies, my conscience would be troubled.
Okay, but now that you're on record having said that, let's go back to the abundant cream pies thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you've said that and everybody's like, oh, okay, Annie's off the hook. She has a conscience about this.
I do.
Now feed me more.
No, but they are in the same place where I went to buy them. You're a grown man. You can make your own decisions with your own debit card.
I'm also really fond of this chair in the 2 o'clock hour, and I don't want to get up.
And we're going to start the story.
Okay.
When we come back, we're not going to go to break quite yet, but can you tease for us? You said you had an experience this weekend at family Thanksgiving. We spent Ryan and his beautiful, beautiful wife and dear friend of mine, and Brad, who also has a very near and dear, she's a friend of mine as well, and she is my dog's house sitter along with Brad when I go out of town. And so Mrs. Range and I are good friends as well. But I really grew in my bond with Mrs. Wiggins this weekend. Safe to say?
Katie, would you consider Annie a dear friend? ?
Send it.
Okay.
We've been texting throughout the show.
That's unfortunate. I don't like to hear that. That means that you've got a ton of ammunition, and I don't even know what it is.
I don't need ammunition. I just have the truth.
Well, I've got Captain America's shield, so
I got
let's
jokes.
go.
I got jokes. We went to the Kelsey's Tree of Hope gala, and it was so beautiful. I had never been to this before, and I loved it. It was such a beautiful event, and it goes to help grant wishes to children who have cancer, and they donated a $100,000 check to cancer research, and they presented that on stage. If you're not familiar with Kelsey's Trees of Hope or just Kelsey's Hope, go check that out. They came in and played X's and O's with us. We talked about their trunk or treat at Bobby's. But they have it so that you can bid on Christmas trees that have been decorated by some wonderfully talented people. The trees are sponsored by different businesses and relationships that they have. I was trying so hard to buy one of these Christmas trees. I was trying very hard to buy one of these Christmas trees. And so we didn't get one. They did well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were making money on these Christmas trees.
Some of those trees they went through for like $1,200.
Four figures.
Yeah.
So we're going to get a Christmas tree for the studio, and we're going to put it up. I think we're going to decorate it Wednesday during the show on the breaks. So you go subscribe to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and you can watch us do that. We had a comment on here and asked if I was still going to do ornaments. And if you want to send an ornament, we're going to decorate the Christmas tree with ornaments that we get from y'all. And so if you want to send us an ornament for your business, if you want to send us an ornament and you're a listener, but we will talk about these ornaments. I hope that we get some. But I will put in the YouTube live chat right now the address that you can send these ornaments to. It's to the radio station. So if you send it to 97.1 FM Talk, it's 1220 Olive Street, St. Louis, Missouri. 63103 is the address. I'm saying it out loud here. But we would love to have a Christmas tree that we will dedicate to you, the listener, and we will use it as an opportunity to promote stuff. If Kelsey's Hope could send, if we get an ornament from them, we will talk about it on the air and utilize it as a way to give back to you guys this season. I am so excited for the Christmas season to be upon us, and I thought that Saturday night event was really kind of the catalyst to me to be like, all right, I'm all in. My house is so clean right now, and it is ready to be decorated.
I was going to ask that. Did you decorate yet?
Nothing.
You went through step one.
Step one, clean. And it was, so yesterday was a clean day. We got basketball again tonight, so I'm hoping that tomorrow the decorations can at least come out of their hibernation, and then I can start picking through and seeing what I've got. I think I threw a lot of stuff away last year that was just kind of at the end.
Yeah, baby's first Christmas, whatever.
Yeah. I think I have one ornament. I think Charlie has a baby's first Christmas ornament. There's nothing else.
I've got one from 1981. I'll bring it in on Wednesday.
I have my mother-in-law decided that my husband needed to have all of his ornaments. So we have my kids' ornaments and my husband's ornaments on our tree. And I'm just like, yeah, I guess I'll decorate the whole thing by myself.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of those paper ornaments that they made in school.
I love them.
That they get crumpled up at the bottom and they pull them back out. And hey, this looks great. Yeah, that sure does look great, buddy. Why don't you put that on the tree?
You just got to get a folder, and you got to put them in a folder and put that in the box first.
My mom has got all of my ornaments. All of them.
She want to send them to me? Then we can have a Frey Kids, Jared, and Brad tree.
I'll give you my baby's first Christmas 1981 since you're lacking in that department.
There's no baby's first Christmas 81. My sister, she was born in 81.
No, it says an homage to me.
Now just scratch that part out.
No? That's weird.
His face.
Well, I became best friends with Mrs. Wiggins this weekend, and I think we're going to travel together and leave you here. You can host the show.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind, but not under those pretenses.
It became a topic of conversation at the Wiggins family Thanksgiving?
Yes.
And we're going to hear about that when we come back?
Yeah.
I can't wait. I don't know this story yet. Stick around. We'll be back in just a minute.
Maybe one last time is all we need.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Jumping off a bridge, it's just the farthest that I've ever been. Anywhere you go, I'll follow you down.
TheDiamondShop.net. If you are looking for a beautiful gift for somebody this holiday season, make sure that you give The Diamond Shop an opportunity to show you some of your options in your budget. When you go into their beautiful store in Clayton, you are going to be greeted. You're going to be helped. You're going to be listened to. You're not going to be pressured. And they have a lot of different ways that they can help you make the purchase that you have been hoping and dreaming to make when you visit the jewelry shop that is going to earn your business. They have special financing available right now, 6 months, same as cash, which means if you're looking to buy something for Christmas, you can spread those payments out a little bit. You can make sure that you, if you're shopping for Valentine's Day, which seems forever away, it'll be here before you know it. Now is a great time to make sure that you connect with the Diamond Shop to see what kind of opportunities they have. Plus, November 25th coming up here, Small Business Saturday, of course, Friday, Black Friday. You want to make sure that on Saturday, if you're looking to support small businesses, the Diamond Shop absolutely is deserving of your business. Reach out to them in Clayton and see some of the beautiful things they have. Become a VIP online as well at thediamondshop.net. You can create wish lists and send it to your loved ones who might be looking for something special to give you. You can find all the details you need online at thediamondshop.net.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
I'm Tony Kornheiser, and this is my show. My friends come on and you know them. We talk about the sports you care about, football, and now basketball too, though we don't really pay attention until later in the year, and the absurdity that is our lives. Line etiquette at your local pharmacy, the current phase of the moon, the importance of talking to a human being on the phone, and most importantly, the power of a box of that. Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-224-9174. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now, 800-224-9174.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-224-9174. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-224-9174 or oxcarcare.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save up to $3,500 with double carrier cool cash rebates on a qualifying high-efficiency furnace or HVAC system. For details, get into your comfort zone, aircomfortservice.com.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules. Want to listen to 97.1 outside the listening area? There's an app for that. Download the Odyssey app, and one tap will turn the station on. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Price Show. Brian, development?
You know that text that I sent during the last segment that said, Katie, would you consider Annie a dear friend?
Katie would be your wife.
My wife. She responded to that text.
How'd it go?
I don't know if she's listening or not, but she said, absolutely. She's always on my side, you know?
Yeah, she's my BFF.
And that's very true. That's very true. It's more like you guys are advocates for each other than friends.
Maybe you're just wrong. Maybe you're just on the wrong side.
I don't think so. I think there is the entire world and there's me, and it's me against the entire world all the time. And I'm kind of an underdog, and I'm kind of a chippy little dude, and people root for me. But not my wife and not you.
5'7", even 5'6", you don't need to call yourself little like that. You should be confident.
Don't sell yourself short.
Stand tall. Stretch that neck. Tell us how Thanksgiving went.
I'm about done.
See, look how much shorter he is than me.
This is all camera jokes.
Yeah.
Radio's going, what the heck is
I
going on?
just pulled a muscle in my back.
So if I'm going to tell this story correctly, I will tell it.
It's going to be weird on the reel later.
There.
Okay.
I fixed it.
Mhm.
You can mostly just see my belly.
You got to set it up now.
So Saturday night, we went to the Kelsey's Hope Gala.
Had a great time.
It was me and my wife, Brad and his wife, and Annie and her husband. And we all sat at the same table.
Mm-hmm.
And there were all kinds of things going on. So it was not as if you were at your table the whole night. You're walking around.
It's an auction.
Yeah, the silent auction, so you can see items, you can bid on the stuff, and it's huge, too. Like, I did not know that event was that big. There was a lot to see. So we're walking around, and you can go up to the, like, meat carvers. You can go get pasta. You can go get salads.
I like how Ryan's entire explanation of this event is surrounding food.
Well, I'm just trying to think of the things you could walk. You could walk through the Christmas trees. You could bid on the items there. And so we're all kind of up and doing stuff, constantly coming back to the table. Well, the bar, there were several bars, but one of the bar lines was right by us. So I got up, and my wife
Thanks for putting us at that table, by the way.
Katie says, when you go up there, can you get me a rum and Coke or something like that? And I said, sure. Now, at this particular event, the wine, the beer, and the soda were all free.
Which is, if you know anything about Ryan Wiggins, incredibly important. Why?
Because the other cocktails cost money. And the beer, wine, and soda, they're included with your ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So the first round we went up, I think I got a soda and Katie got wine. Now the next round.
Did you go up there together or did you get that for her?
I did that for her, but at the last second she had to come and carry because I had too many in my hands.
Okay.
I don't remember why.
Because they were free.
I can't remember why I had too many drinks that I couldn't carry.
Included.
Had to have her come up. So the second time I went up, she asked for a cocktail. And she said, let me get a cocktail. And I said, that's fine. She knew that they cost money. And I said, I still said, to my credit, that's fine.
What do you mean to your credit? If she's a working woman and she wants a cocktail, she can get a cocktail. Not fine.
Katie, Annie just called you a working woman. Period.
Someone in that relationship has to work.
So we'll see what she says.
Uh-huh.
So I went up there to get her cocktail, which cost money, and I did not get her a house cocktail. I got her the expensive cocktail, which was unique.
Let me ask you this
Yes.
question. When you came back and sat down, did you tell her that you got her the expensive one so you would get credit?
No, I did not.
I'm impressed.
But she asked me.
Well, no, I'm impressed that wasn't part of the delivery.
Yeah, it wasn't at all. In fact, what I did when I got to the bar, I said, give me they had a whiskey up there that I thought she would like.
Yeah, why?
Because because it looked like it was all weirdly colored. And I thought, oh, that'll be sweet. She'll like whatever that was. Well, the lady picks it up, and it was just a regular Jack Daniels bottle sitting on a light.
On a pink light. So you're like, I'll get her something nice and soft and sweet that's easy to drink. How about some Jack Daniels?
Yeah, and I couldn't see the label because of the light. But I thought, I think that's whiskey. Let me have like that and a Coke, because that's kind of what she asked for. She said something like a rum and Coke. So I thought, she'll really like that. In the process, the bartender says, what about a limoncello? Have you ever had that? I don't know why she recommended this. I must look like I like limoncello. And I said, actually, I have had limoncello, and I do like it. And you know who else likes it? My wife, Katie. So I said, why don't you go ahead and give me that drink too, and I'll take both of them back and let her decide if she wants either both of them or just one of them, and I'll drink whatever she doesn't like if she doesn't like it.
So if I'm listening to this story in my car right now, there's a couple details that I think need to be added that would be of value for me as a listener to understand.
Yeah, I'm sure this will help my story. I'm sure. Go ahead.
It's neither here nor there. It's just facts of the matter.
Okay.
You got a babysitter this weekend for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the rest of the evening? What kind of deadline did you have? When did you have to get back to where? What kind of evening was this for you and your wife?
Well, we didn't really have a deadline because our kids weren't at home.
Did you have to go get them that night, though?
No, they were staying over at Grandma and Grandpa's.
They were gone for the night.
Yes.
So this night was about Mr. and Mrs. Wiggins.
We could do anything we wanted within reason because I had to wake up very early to work church the next day.
He smells like beef and cheese. That's all I could think of from Elf.
That's your greeter at church in the morning.
Yeah.
When was the last time?
Welcome back.
I don't know that communion one. I don't know. I don't know the answer to this question. But when was the last time you and your wife, the kids were gone for a night, you had a date night, you got to get all dressed up, enjoy a nice meal, have some drinks, enjoy each other's company without having to go back and get the kids, which is where the buzzkill happens.
So the last time we were able to just sort of hang out, do whatever we wanted, was my birthday, which was September. So it's been about 2 months.
Okay. Which is not bad, honestly.
No, that's not bad at all.
I'm thinking right now as the mother of 4, I don't know when the last time that was. So September's not bad, but it's been a while.
Yeah. And before that, I didn't even know how long.
So you're having a great time. You have no kids that you have to go be a certain level of responsible for in the coming hours or minutes.
Right.
2 drinks you splurged for.
Well, she had already had a couple at that point, and I had, I think, maybe one or a soda or something. I had part of a beer.
I think one or a soda or something.
Yeah. Well, no, I remembered. I had a Mick Ultra.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that later.
So, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I'm not prepared for that. I'm prepared for this. I'm not prepared for that, whatever that is. So I brought these 2 drinks back, and I'm thinking, I did pretty good here.
Yeah.
Not only did she ask for a drink, and I said, yeah, let's do it, but I got 2. She really liked the limoncello.
Really?
Really liked it. And so I said, well, that's fine, but here's if you asked for the other one, so you can have that too if you want it. And she did.
You allowed
her
to have them both?
That was the intent, but she didn't really love that one, so she only had about half of it, and I drank the rest of it.
Because she wanted rum and Coke was the initial ask-ish, and you thought, I'll get her this frilly drink, Jack Daniels, instead.
yeah. So she was like, she didn't really want that, even though I tried hard. So the one that I thought I was executing well, I didn't. And the one that I thought I took a gamble on, she really liked.
The bartender knew.
Apparently.
Something.
Yeah. So the problem is then she's feeling pretty good.
She was having a fun time.
She was having a very good time. And I was not, because she wanted more, like an insatiable sponge.
That's ridiculous.
She said.
She was just smiling and having a good time.
And I said, man, you are getting out of control.
Brad, at any time, was Mrs. Wiggins out of control?
No.
Was she even close to being out of control?
No, nothing that would have even made me think, ooh, boy.
You guys don't know what out of control looks like with Mrs. Wiggins. When she gets out of control, she gets super smiley. So she was just smiling too darn much.
Says who?
Me. I know her very well, and I'm like, uh-oh.
I was
She's
sitting next to her.
very smiley.
She was sitting immediately to my right, and we were having a wonderful time.
Yeah, because she was smiling so much. She was just very, very easy to talk to at that point.
Which you don't like?
Oh, I just know. I'm like, uh-oh, you're about 3 in now, because you're smiling.
Which is the equivalent to Ryan Wiggins' 2 sips. Carry on.
So she says, Ryan, I want another one of these. I want it right now or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But she wanted another limoncello. And I said, why don't we just hold off for a minute?
No.
Why don't we just slow down?
No, that's not what you said to her.
What did I say?
You said before you get that, you need to finish this whiskey drink.
I said, why don't you try finishing now?
You said finish this, and she's like, I don't like it. And you're like, well, I bought it. You need to finish it before I get you another one.
I don't know. That seems really harsh. I think what we did was we got up and we walked around and we went to the dessert/candy table first.
No, because this all happened while I was there, and you didn't. When I was at the table, you guys were sitting there.
Well, I don't remember exactly that, but I knew that if we if we go too fast, then our night might end too early, and we were having too much fun. And
Here's the question,
I was thinking of you guys.
The Jack and Coke was sitting there in front of her, and she wanted a limoncello because that's what she liked. And you were like, drink the Jack first, and then we can talk about the limoncello. So it wasn't really about the quantity of the alcohol. It was, you didn't want to waste the money on the Jack and Coke and then go get another limoncello.
As you know, I'm a little bit older than you guys are. I am a Depression-era kid. So I have been trained to not waste.
That is a loose description.
I remember the Dust Bowl like it was yesterday.
Okay.
Food was harder to come by. So I had to, I'm trained now, even though we're in a time of a little bit more abundance now, we're having to deal with inflation stuff, but I remember what it was like. And so I don't want to waste things. I've been trained to not waste.
Then you should have just drank the Jack and Coke and gotten her a limoncello.
Which I think I may have done that eventually.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
after I intervened.
The problem with your intervention was that you and your very nice husband just brought another limoncello.
The woman wanted it.
Yes, she did.
She said it. She was so relaxed. She said out loud, "This is wonderful. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to think about anything." And she spoke to my mother heart in that moment. I know exactly what she's talking about. The pressure was off and she was enjoying herself. And when you are a mom and a working mom, you have a lot of pressure on you all the time. And to get to that place where you get to completely exhale and enjoy yourself is magical. And you're like, but drink the Jack.
And then you bring her another drink. And at this
the
point,
limoncello.
I say, yeah, limoncello.
One.
And I say, oh my goodness, this is crazy. And then I throw a 10 your way. And I say, at least let me pay for it because I'm not cheap. That's an established fact. So then Katie gets this extra limoncello. Now I do have to drink the extra Jack and Coke or whatever it was. And so I do. And now Katie's super smiley. And I'm going, uh-oh.
Brad, she was continuing to have a good time, as was everyone else there.
Yes.
And she was happy, as were we.
So then, the next day I had to work church early in the morning. So we had a great night. Night ended. It was a lot of fun. Next day, I have to work church. My wife has to go pick up the kids from my parents to take them to late church. So then we had Thanksgiving yesterday. So I show up at Thanksgiving at about 2:00 at their house, right when I walk in the door.
I don't know this story. I can't wait.
Why won't you buy your wife a drink? My immediate thought.
Who said it?
My immediate thought is, how did Annie get to you? Because it's still the weekend.
I'm shocked that it was my fault. That I infiltrated your
mine went
Thanksgiving.
right there. How this is Annie's fault in some way, but I don't know how yet. And I have to figure this out because this happened Saturday night. It's Sunday. We haven't been on the air yet.
I am in contact with your whole family.
So I'm going, how in the world
did Annie get?
Because I just assumed that this is Annie Frey's fault, which ultimately it was.
Can we clip that?
Yes,
that little bite there.
But indirectly, because what happened was she went to pick up the kids and she told her a little bit about the night. She told my parents a little bit about the night. And apparently that's the big fact that stuck out was that she wanted a third paid for cocktail after.
Paid for?
Yeah.
That's the problem here.
No, it's not.
It's the money.
And so she got one, but it was because you guys bought it. And then it became this big thing. And then it was like, okay, you know what? We're here now. Drink whatever you want. Have some rum chata if you want.
Yeah.
And she didn't, but I did.
Because that's your favorite drink.
Because I like rum chata.
So it was
a lot.
about
Yeah.
you again there.
I guess it did come back to me in the end.
When you walked in, who said to you, why won't you buy your wife a drink?
My dad.
Oh.
My dad, and then I think my mom agreed, and my grandma Wiggins, who was there.
How old is Grandma Wiggins?
92, I think now.
She knows.
Grandma Wiggins, I think, chimed in even and was both smiling and kind of waving her finger at me. All this happened, and I was not excited. That's the thing. Coming to the studio today, I'm like, I know that you guys are going to totally hit me on this, and I know it, and I'm ready for it.
That's why we let you tell the story.
But walking into my own parents' house, and then there, just bam, bam, bam. I'm like, no. It was a clash of worlds, and I didn't like it.
Which part of the story is your family, your wife, or am I wrong about?
Can you please rephrase the question?
No.
As an answer.
Negative. Where are we wrong?
I was more than willing to give my wife whatever she wanted. I was just trying to pace her a little bit. And then you guys came in and changed the pace.
Why'd you look at me?
That isn't true. You were telling her to finish the jack. You wanted her to finish the drink that you had paid for.
Because I knew that was a jack that had been watered down and was very little left.
No,
and like,
that's not it.
If you finish that, that's going to take you a little time, and then we'll be fine.
False. It was over half full. And you needed her to finish that, and she said to you, I don't like it. And then she went into how much she did like the limoncello.
Yes. And yet, I think what's come into question here is my care for her, because really, ultimately, it was about her. I wanted to make sure that she was able to walk.
She was just fine. She was just fine. And I will add one extra detail to the story before we go to break. Do you know what Miss Wiggins said to Ryan while they were sitting there and she was trying to convince him to just go get the limoncello for her? She said, you can take it out of my allowance. She said that to him. And that's when I said, Jared, get the woman a limoncello. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Michael's flooring out. It's like the anti-Ryan Wiggins song. Pull my trigger, let me blow your mind. And you're like, let's talk about it a little bit here first. What's the budget?
My texts are blowing up right now.
Well, let's get to it when we come back.
Yeah.
This isn't the time check.
Okay.
But we'll get to it before we wrap the show.
That's a tease for the time check, which is coming up.
Let me talk to you. You know what I'm going to tell you? This is what I'm going to tell you. Is there any flooring that needs to be replaced in your house? Because Mrs. Wiggins would like some new flooring, maybe.
Don't even start, because yes. And we're already having this discussion. Dang it. Now you're going to open Pandora's box.
I'm going to ask her what she prefers. Is it the Mohawk Smart Strand? Is it the Techwood Plus?
I'm not telling you.
She's
texting me right now. She's texting me yes.
Yes. Flooring in the Wiggins household. And the smart move is to buy it from
She just texted me all caps, new floors.
Yes. There you go. See, she's listening.
And yes.
That's happening.
With 15 S's.
Katie, go to igotfloored.com and you can shop for budget friendly because they care about the value of their flooring that they're going to put in your house, but you don't sacrifice quality. You were kind of like an example of Michael's Flooring Outlet. Budget friendly, but you don't sacrifice quality.
Do you hear that? That's me rubbing my eyes. You hear here.
I will pay Michael's Flooring Outlet for this live because it is worth it. I'll be the customer.
You guys are killing me.
No, you're great.
She's still texting me.
She still loves you.
She's on the website right now. She says, I'm so excited. Like it's a forget it. You do whatever you do.
Let me tell you a little bit about the Smart Strand Mohawk Silk, Katie, Mrs. Wiggins. Silky softness, just like Ryan Wiggins. Superior performance.
I thought you were a pro until just now.
3 times more individual fibers than ordinary nylon carpet. The very top quality Smart Strand Mohawk Silk. You get it at Michael's Flooring Outlet. If you are shopping for flooring this holiday season because your husband has said, you know what, it is time that we put new floors in this house, and I love you, and I want to do this for you, and you mean more to me than not having new floors.
No, we're not tying my love for her into this.
It's clear. You just go to the website and you start shopping. Go to igotfloored.com.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering how long your money will last? Are you also sick of worrying about losing your life savings in the next market crash? I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. Let us build your own personalized structured income plan, which will show you how much income you can receive in retirement, but more importantly, it will show you how long your money will last. Stop wondering if you have enough to retire comfortably.
Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. We'll teach you the strategies you won't hear from your broker or banker. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping our clients retire with confidence for the past 37 years. Let us help you. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews, and if invasive plants and trees have overtaken your pasture, roads, trails, or dams, then you need Missouri Brush Control. Their special forestry mulching equipment helps landowners reclaim their property. Enjoy your land like you've always dreamed of. To learn more, visit MissouriBrushControl.com.
While no child should have to spend the holidays in the hospital, there are many at SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital who will not be able to experience the joy of opening gifts around their tree. Please join 97.1 FM Talk and give the gift of hope and healing to Cardinal Glennon kids and support the Tree of Hope year-end giving campaign. Your gift ensures these brave patients can continue to receive the critical care they need during these challenging times. Thank you for giving at treeofhope.org.
Annie just got me an oatmeal cream pie and gave it to me because she feels so bad about throwing me under the bus like that just now.
I just think when people ask for something, that if you can help them get what makes them happy, that you should support the people who you love.
That's a great segue into the fact that you should support me more often all the time, no matter what I do or think.
Which is what I just did.
I just want to mention the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll in this time check. It is an 8-hour in-office workday an acceptable standard expectation? Yes or no? We've been talking about this all day in various ways. We're about to give you the results of this poll. Get in on the poll before we give you the results at the Annie Frey YouTube live chat location. The poll is there. 252. No, don't. 252. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Nick Schroer, what is going on college campuses?
It's proof that they're not teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic, and they're obviously not teaching a correct form of history. I have no idea how we got this bad this quick.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. So we've been talking about that standard expectation for work weeks. We're going to get to, apparently Mrs. Wiggins has been blowing up Ryan's phone. I support everything she says.
She said, I love you more than any. Interesting.
I would hope
I'm so happy. I love that you won that debate. Oh, that's weird that she said that.
That is weird because she didn't. Eat your own.
It's weird that you said that you support that, but okay.
Eat your oatmeal cream pie. On Fox News, foxbusiness.com, I should say, there's an article about it. The headline is Gen Z attitude towards 9-to-5 jobs sparking debate about the difference in generational work ethics. One of the quotes in here, according to the study that they feature, well, it says, in regard to a traditional 9-to-5 job, a recent global study conducted by Adobe titled The Future of Time looked at work preferences of different generations and found millennials and Gen Z workers specifically value flexibility in their schedule. The quote from the study is, approximately 3/4 of younger generation employees say they would switch jobs for better work-life balance. 2/3 would switch for the option to work remotely, and around 70% would take a different job to have more control over their work schedule. I think there are a lot of people talking about this in this conversation that maybe wouldn't have prior to this supported the alteration in what is the standard expectation of a work week being a 9-to-5 or an 8-hour day where you go into an office and you work there. You can go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote right now on whether or not you support that standard expectation. I do support it as a standard expectation. I think we need to get back to that, but that doesn't mean that we can't have flexibility. So standard expectation, yes, but I don't think that you want to shift the expectation to, no, you don't have to come into the office, be in person, be monitored by somebody who is your superior. I mean, all of that stuff is how the company, the business, the products, the services grows. And that's necessary for your job to continue to exist. What do you think?
I think that I do support it as a standard because you have to have a standard. If you want to deviate from that standard as much as you want, completely fine. And in fact, you're probably going to have to keep up with the marketplace right now because the demand is such. But you have to have a plumb line to compare it to say, well, here's what we're giving you that's different than the norm.
Yeah, as a benefit.
Yeah, and that's completely fine. I support anybody in any job who wants to try to either, as an employee, negotiate for those things or as an employer, offer those things to get more employees. But you have to have a standard to compare it to.
Brad, what do you think?
I support it. I think that that's the right expectation because the key word there is expectation. But I think people are always thinking like, what everybody's wanting to do less work. But there's also sometimes this expectation of employers to have you work more than that. I think that a person should be able to work a 40-hour week and be able to afford middle-class living standards. I think that you should be able to do that. And if you want to hustle more and have better stuff, I think that's great. If you want to do less and have less stuff, that's great too. Whatever floats your boat. But I think that 40-hour a week work week is good.
Dan just commented, if you can get your job done, fine. I think that that's where the focus needs to shift, is understanding what production is. And if production needs to be increased, you need to make a shift in how it's managed in the office. 70% say that they do support that as an acceptable standard. So thanks for voting today. Have fun going home to Mrs. Wiggins.
No.
Tell her I said hi, and I miss her.
Well, you just text her.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. Mayor Jones wants you to know that it is Trans Day of Remembrance. I mean, we can't answer 911 calls. People are getting shot in broad daylight, but we're going to honor that. Coming up after Fox News.
AirComfortService.com is if you are looking for a furnace, if you need maintenance done, if you need a tune-up, if it's not working right and you don't really understand why, Air Comfort Service can help you solve this problem. And if you do have to end up going the route of replacing it, which we had to do a few years ago, I reached out to the emergency line for Air Comfort Service. They came out and they took care of us, and they will take great care of you as well. They were able to save us money. They have a whole bunch of different options for you that can make it as cost effective as possible. Do you need a new? Do you guys need a new furnace? Should I put in a good word for the
I'm
Wiggins?
eating.
Okay. You just need an oatmeal cream pie. They have great opportunities for you to get Carrier Cool Cash rebates. They also have 0% financing for up to 72 months if you qualify for that, and a lot of other really great options for you to choose from. So make sure that it fits your budget, your circumstances, and your situation. Air Comfort Service is the place that my family goes, and I highly recommend that you use them as well for your next HVAC needs. You can find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
Check off your shopping list with Cardinals Baseball. 5 and 10 game packs are on sale now and feature 2024's highest demand games and promotional giveaways. Choose from the opening day pack, bobblehead pack, Cubs pack, and more. New for 2024, check out the 10 game for the Lou pack, which includes lots of new STL themed promos. Give the gift that lasts all season, all baseball season. Cardinals ticket packs start at just $55 and are on sale now at cardinals.com/holiday.
A swing and a long one. Left field. Walker just gave the Cardinals the lead. Home run!
This holiday season, give the gift of date nights, family time, and more with Cardinals tickets. 2024 all-inclusive tickets start at just $55 and feature a full buffet, complimentary bar, plus a great view of the game. Choose from the UMB Champions Club, Premium Legends Club, Proficient Red Jacket Club, National Car Rental Club, and more. Get your single game all-inclusive tickets now at cardinals.com/holiday.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's just a number. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That in so many words.